we're just going to jump right in. So, we're back for the dam, session 10. Everyone's here. Holy shit.
Let's go.
It's a full complement. For Paige, it's been 2 months. For Sarah, it's been 3 weeks.
Yeah, I think 3.
Because the last time that you... In fact, the last time... it was a month, because we went to Gen Con. I got COVID.
This is the first session since Gen Con that everyone's been.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
My last game was July 27th.
Yeah. And to be clear,
Party too hard.
this happens every year at this time. Like, it doesn't... Like, every
summer.
year. Every summer.
Every
At the very end
summer.
of summer. Like clockwork. This is normal. So it's not unusual. And
Back
nobody's
to
missing
school.
anything. And people who are watching won't miss anything either, because
It's like we game 11 months.
9 will be coming out in a couple weeks. That's right. But we did have a pretty exciting session last game, and we're going to talk about that for those who weren't here. But we've got initiative already established. I think what we'll probably do from now on is just establish the initiative ladder outside of the session, just to kind of get us going. And we should probably do the same thing for fortune and misfortune, but we'll just roll over. So we roll 1d6 chaos and see who gets all the fortune. I start with 1. No 6s?
No 6s.
Dang!
Wow, look consistent today.
Okay, so you get 6
Everybody's
fortune.
rolling
Did
Star
everyone
That's
do
good.
4?
Yeah.
I rolled a
That's
3.
fantastic.
1-3.
That's good for you.
T-Rex came
Come on,
through.
Nick. Be a team player.
Oh, we get it.
roll 6
Come
next
on.
time.
I'm going to put these here.
Come on, the
but
leader. We get it.
as of next week, I will literally have that balancing scale. So you can see fortune, misfortune weighed live. Like, I'm going to put it right here. Or maybe I'll elevate it. I don't know. Between
Your fortune
Paige and
hangs
Sarah,
in the balance.
It does. Your fate hangs in the balance. You both have literally got me into like getting more shit for the table.
The power of
More
props.
stuff.
Knickknacks.
Yeah.
Props,
See anybody
props,
where-
props.
you know.
We like.
I'm still excited about the lantern thing. When it's going to happen, it's going to be very exciting.
Here, we'll
I'm
put a
ready
little
for that.
dice in his little chair.
I need to put the batteries in the lantern and find the little
Bad
clicker.
dice.
The lantern does turn on. So let's actually just talk about the last session. So where probably Aspillicent and Suspirianti, Rise of Beyonce, left
Waiting
off.
for it. If you weren't, I was.
The great thing is I've actually managed to drill into all of our heads at this point.
I know.
That's what I called her for
Mm-hmm.
initiative too. So
Yeah.
I was just like, all right, I'm just gonna do it.
Thanks for creating complicated names,
I
Sarah.
know, I'm
it's
sorry.
all good. No,
Creative.
that's good. At least this time in this
We
game,
picked
everybody
two
has a
silver
different
names.
phonetic pronunciation for the beginning of their name, because we had literally the game before this already had the exact same phonetic sound at the beginning of their name, and it was utterly confusing to me because I'm really good with names, at least in the game, not with real people, because who likes real people? So the last session the two of you were in, it was actually in the Undercroft, and that was that kind of pitched battle with the throngs of the dead who were trying to press through the hallways, and Suspiriancy and Aspillicent were holding back the throngs at the gate, and then that's when you stepped away, and then Swarm began to overwhelm everyone, and we went through that, and there's those creepy gravestone spiders that were clamoring on the ceiling, and one ran away. And that's kind of where the two of you last left. We actually picked up right after that. That's the session we played last week. That's how long it's been. Thanks, Jim Con. And summer, and school, and COVID. Regardless, so let's talk about last game session. Some of you maybe already watched it if you weren't here.
I watched most of it.
Yeah, but let's just talk about what happened. So we
What happened, Sarah?
yeah. So we.
Jack, you way to call it out.
I have to lawyer.
Lawyers be lawyering.
Excuses.
I know.
So you come up, I'll start us off. So you come up from beneath the Undercroft and you emerge on the other side of the city. So what do you see from there?
Yeah, we saw what was basically the remains of a pretty intense battle or war, evidence of like, we kind of came upon a destroyed chapel with finally saw the bell tower, which seemed to be like hit but not moving from any of this previous battle of what it was. Probably more disturbing was the chains everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the yard surrounding the ruined chapel, there were chains.
The whole neighborhood was ruined, right?
Yeah, the whole neighborhood was like
Bombed
looked to have
out.
been pounded by trebuchet.
Right.
Like there were stones everywhere. The whole of the neighborhood was just completely destroyed. And then you saw as you walked into the courtyard around the destroyed chapel, where these iron rungs affixed to the cobblestone, and then these really, really long chains were connected to it. And what'd you see from there?
We saw Brother Walder.
Well, we walked in, and the cathedral's in bad shape, right? But the tower is solid, and then there's more people tied to chains. There's people underneath pews. It's just chaos, right?
Alive people tied to change?
No, there are skeletons. Some are hung by
straight
their
up.
necks.
Straight up
It just looks like a big torture fest.
Except
Like
for one.
it looks like a Megadeth or Iron Maiden like
Album
album cover.
Sepultura.
Sepultura cover. Just
Megadeth.
put that in your
circa
brain.
1987.
1987 hairband rock album cover.
It's evocative.
But then there's that one gooey guy.
Yeah. So that's then
I don't know what you
Nick decides
did
he's
to that
gonna. I'm
gooey
sorry.
guy.
Tomas
There was a guy
decides
that
he's going to
had-
ring the bell.
Yeah, he had a bell on his head for some reason or another.
A gooey
Above
guy
his head.
did?
Above his head. It
above
was
his
hanging
head, okay.
above his head.
And then
A gooey guy like
He
a
wasn't.
creature?
He wasn't gooey. He was like
He was a very sick man,
rashy and
yeah,
kind of
and,
covered in bandages every which way,
alive.
and
but alive.
well, he,
Well, not the damned. At
Not
the very
the
least.
he-
Okay.
everything he was saying was open to interpretation that he may not be alive, and that to Pipistrella that was like alarms going off, and so I took that bait, and so like it was like because according to the rights, well the tenets of the custodian, like anything that is hermosity is which is like a catch-all phrase for like anything that might be undead, as we would call it outside of the game world, is an abomination and must be returned to her because it was stolen from her. And so yeah, I killed him.
Shot him in the back, actually.
Pipistrella's kind of
That's
But
terrifying.
honestly,
Hey, I mean,
I was just,
you know-
I was just gonna
you were
Right.
fueling the fire.
I was just gonna run him through and move on because I was just ready to go because it was taking a very long time to
We
make
had
a
a
decision.
long
on this.
discussion about it.
Was
I
he
was-
threatening to you? Why
Oh
did
no,
He was
oh, no.
chained to the. He was
No, he's
chained to
chained.
the bell tower.
And so you decided to just murder?
I
No,
decided,
no, they let him go
I
first.
tried to.
No,
tried to give
I
him a
decided to
courtesy.
let him go
he,
first.
he took Stahl's pickaxe and struck his chains.
Because it was very much bothering me that we were just like, again, it was just one of those things that clicked off in Guillaume's head that for some reason, it very much angered him to see people in power, again, wielding power over people that didn't have a choice in the matter. And now, like, we seem to be doing the exact same thing. And so Guillaume got really bothered by that and broke the chain. So at the very least, the man could stand on his very own if whatever the rest of the group decided.
Yeah,
So
and-
when did
and
you
so-
murder him?
When he was walking away, Pipistrella gave him enough time to not know it was coming, so that way when it did happen, he
He
at
was
least
walking
didn't
into the
have the
woods.
suffer of knowing it was coming. That was in her mind. That's her
Mhm.
rationale.
Mhm.
Even though that's not.
Did she let the rest of the group know ahead of time, or
No.
Oh, she just walked
did,
up. And
yeah.
Okay.
No, there was no walking up. It was the first time she ever got to use her bow.
Oh, good.
Aww.
On a
Breaking
nest,
it in.
walking away.
This is my bow, Monk's Lair.
warning shots, not words.
This was a killing shot.
Killing shots, not
No
words.
Unarmed monk slayer. Yeah.
Yeah.
How did everyone else handle you murdering someone in front of them?
I mean, she was like, "Oh, he wasn't undead. I was wrong." And
Whoops.
like, there's a lot more internally going on in
Yeah.
her head than externally.
Toma was wrestling with it too. And
Yeah.
we had a kind of above board conversation around that.
Toma was gonna
I moved on very quickly.
either way. So
Clovis. Classic Clovis.
He was gonna die anyway.
I was just writhing, apparently, just like not noticing anything going on.
He was basically dead already. So
Yeah.
it doesn't. I mean, to me, it's like it's a mercy kill.
I mean, some words he used was like basically that he
He
was
hadn't
already
been
dead.
eating,
Which,
he hadn't,
yeah.
you know,
That's right. 'Cause I
wasn't
did try to offer him
breathing.
water.
He wasn't drinking water. He wasn't eating. He wasn't breathing. I mean, he was giving us clues that he was a husk,
Or at the very least on his way.
or on his way.
Did you learn anything about how husks are created?
We have not gotten to that point yet. But that's the whole reason to come here, right? Well, and to see if there was living. We already killed that.
You can see if
We found one living person.
Mission accomplished.
We can go back now.
And killed them.
We did have to travel back on the road to the chateau. But
Yeah. So no, we did. Yeah.
Then I tried to talk these guys into just taking all of the pews, stacking them up, putting oil on them, and lighting this damn thing on fire. Because obviously, he told us it's just the priest and
The Minister of Light comes in and out every once in a while, type of thing.
yeah. He was basically said it's just all baddies up there.
So the Minister of Light. To
So
be
after we
clear-
killed him, we started believing him. So maybe we should just burn this place down.
So from Suspiriansi's
Right?
perspective, remember the man that was in the street?
Yeah.
With the lantern
Yeah,
and-
the lantern.
Lantern
yeah.
bearer.
Yeah, the lantern born.
Is that what it is? Born or bearer?
Lantern bearer. It does no real name.
Okay,
We're just
sorry.
using kind of no. It's all good. We're just kind of using kind of stand-ins
Okay.
for what is
'Cause we
more
don't actually
descriptive
name.
than what they really are. Yeah, and it's how all things are named, right? You see something you're like, yep, that's a tree. Yep, that's a car. Yep, that's a lantern bearer. Yeah. So you eventually kind of you rationalize what happened. You head inside, and the bell tower, as you kind of found it. The bottom floor was like littered with bags of flour and foodstuffs that have been cracked open, and above it's completely open all the way up, and there's like the cinders softly falling in the darkness above, like no idea how many yards up, and there is a wooden stairwell that actually runs inside the tower, leaving the middle completely exposed. So you could literally just follow the edge and die. And it happened. So you get to the first floor of the bell tower, and what do you discover?
There's a knight, Mercator knight, sitting there.
Yeah.
The body's completely gone at this point. It's just basically just armor with
Nice armor.
with a skeleton in it. But it's munitions plate. So we talked about taking it, and then
Naturally, Pipistrello put it on.
Did you sneak up? You sneak up? Who snuck up?
I
Okay.
snuck up. Yeah. Boss
You
told
know.
me to do my thing, so that's what I did. Because we saw shadows moving above us, like another 11 yards above. Is that right?
Next rung.
Yeah. So basically, next tier of the bell tower. Yeah. So snuck up there, not entirely successfully, and then we found these 4 hooded figures that were continually chanting which deities. A chant from which deity? I'm so sorry. Was it the custodian?
No.
No.
It was Martyr,
Yeah.
Steward, or one of the.
Yeah.
It's one of the main prayers.
Yes.
It was.
It's like the forgiveness prayer of the
Yeah.
martyr, I think.
So yeah, they seemed to be doing that, and then I went down and let everybody know, and then we came back up, and they weren't there for a moment, and then they were all there.
Like they appeared?
Yeah, they just kind of snuck up on us, really.
Oh.
Yeah.
But they
Surprise
didn't like
Yeah.
come. They didn't just like appear as in.
Kind
Very
of.
different.
Surprise round.
Yeah,
like it.
they came out of the shadows,
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
and then weird shit started happening.
So they could definitely use magic of some sort.
Yeah.
It's Guillaume's
Yeah, they
officially
just started
done.
throwing magic at everybody. So their
Oh.
surprise round was everybody besides Guillaume made their saving throw.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people were under the effects of Adelcoved, which is basically confusion. Some the things were able to perfectly mirror the appearance of Capistrella.
Oh God.
Others could create like shadow stuff simulacrums that stood beside them. it was all very weird and twisted, and then they proceeded to toss the ring over the edge.
Who?
The players
Oh.
actually grabbed them and threw them over the edge, and they fell down 21 yards.
It was
Well,
so
there's-
cool.
10
I mean,
plus
there's-
21 damage.
It was so cool.
They're slinging spells, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're enemies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I slung a spell at them. I got on the other edge and used Custodian's last breath to like
Mm.
push them off.
Mhm.
So
That
once
was
we
the
saw
first one that
that,
was
we
actually
were
knocked
like,
off, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Like, we should do this.
Then Nick and I started throwing people out.
Then the
Come on,
takedown started
I should-
happening. Yeah, because Custodian's dying breath was the one that first pushed the death prophet, whatever they call
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
the shades off the edge. I'm like, oh, let's throw them off the edge. So then they started collecting, and then eventually one managed to scamper off further up the bell tower.
Mhm.
You're not even all the way up. Like, you're only on the second floor of the bell tower.
There's like 3 or 4 as best we could tell looking out on the
Yeah.
outside.
Well, hold on. He was
It was a cliffhanger.
grievously wounded. Then he went up
Bum.
because I
That's right.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
I shot him in his business.
Oh, you
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah,
You shot him in the groin.
in the groin.
right in the schmeck.
Or she. Let's not. I mean, we
Yeah,
don't know.
that's
They're
right.
they're hooded figures.
Just a
I
smash.
shot him in their thing.
You shot them in the thing.
I think
They're naughty bits.
Didn't what was the game used to call it? Their gizzards.
Not
Which
naughty
was like
bits.
The some role play, some RPG that had like
Yeah,
gizzards. The gizzards was
Shot him
basically
in the
the
gizzards.
yeah
I like
the
that.
it was the
The
word
swimsuit
for
area.
the swimsuit area. Yeah.
Shot him right in
I
the
think
bikini
I
area.
think it was. If anybody's watching and knows, please comment below. I'm just kidding. You can't comment on our YouTube videos. But you can
It was
comment on the
like, "Sarah's a dumb
Patreon,
bitch."
which you absolutely should do. If you're not following it already, /Crew and Perilous.
I don't know.
Studios.
Naughty bits has always been
Uh,
my favorite.
Yeah, the naughty butts.
Naughty bits.
You
Fun
mean
parts.
like no bad touch?
Yeah.
They're
Yes,
private
good
parts.
touch.
Yeah.
Unless it's actually no
That is a
bad
pipistrella kind of.
Yeah, I believe Clovis did a note of
Front
that.
bottom.
A note.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
touch. So yeah, so one of them scampered off up the stairs, and that leaves you kind of where you're at now in the interior of this place. It's dark. You can feel the adrenaline still rushing through you, and in the 4 short minutes that kind of unfolded this pretty pitched battle. As you collect yourselves, and in the case of Guillaume, you could feel this kind of like this moment of clarity kind of wash over you as like the tunnel vision kind of like fades away, the fuzziness like that was pulling at the edges of your vision seems to claw back and be swallowed by the darkness. And when you look around, all you can see is this very narrow walkway that surrounds the interior of the bell tower. And there is a very sturdy handhold like along the interior, except for where they threw people off. And from here, you can see crates and barrels kind of along here as well. Half the remnant of a Mercadian knight and brass munitions plate is hanging off the edge. He has not yet become fully disembodied, so he's just hanging off the edge, half skeletal, half skin. And there are stairs on the far side from where you're at, on the opposite side where you continue to ascend up. And as you look up, you can see the cinders seem to be a little closer, a little brighter. They look less like fireflies and more like stars. Little burning motes of red light flickering and falling from somewhere up above.
Can I just like wait a minute? Because I know light is not probably. Well, I have a torch, but it doesn't reach anywhere near where it does. Can I like check if I hear any additional noises, anything like that coming back down to meet us from the groin smashed death prophet?
Yeah. Go ahead and roll a routine eavesdrop test.
Eavesdrop. Oh,
It's
I'm
the death
actually.
block.
I remember. I'm ignore 1 skill.
Yeah.
Imperiled. So, thank you for that. I really needed that one. So that's going to be 62. 61.
Okay, nice. You listen carefully, and you can hear the footfalls of the thing kind of scampering upstairs, and you hear this soft wailing from above, like the sounds of soft wailing from multiple people.
Is this a sound we have heard before, or I have heard before?
It's like sounds like the mewing of somebody in extreme pain.
Okay,
Like
so
who's been suffering through pain.
if anybody else is not aware of that, in a very quiet tone, I am going to relay that information to the rest of the group.
Well, Tomo, maybe you're right. Maybe there is somebody living in this place.
Miss Wilson, you feel a very small, light hand on your shoulder. Beep. I have a prophecy for you. Would you like to pray with me? And she like takes a knee on the ground right where we are, and she pulls out this nail, and she said, "This is normally used for a coffin, but it can be used to allay it." As she places it on the ground, and she says, "No step on it." Like it's flat on the ground.
Okay.
No step on
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and step on it.
it. And she's going to pray to the custodian, and she says, "You will not be stabbed by your own blade." As she's going to attempt to cast Doom Metal.
What is that?
That's a spell.
Doom
It's now
metal.
my, it's, yeah.
It's
Awesome.
petty, right?
It is a petty spell.
Yeah, it's going to be a trivial test. In this sense.
I'm
my
standing on
5
it,
years
but
that
kind
one's
of
never
crouched down
All right,
and
so
kind of hunched forward.
66. 96.
That's gonna be a tough one.
76 will do it. All right, so you gain 1 temporary fortune point, but it can only be used in a situation that involves you dooming.
Okay.
If you use it, it disappears, like completely.
Okay.
And then
Doesn't convert to me. Just gives me weird.
Oh, gotcha.
you suffer 3 corruption for using it.
Okay.
Because you basically took away from your dooming, your prophecy of your death.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've got my foot on there and I'm kind of hunched over and I kind of grab my masked face and I bow to you and I come back up. It's my gesture of thanks.
Is the reagent expended?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so
I need to mark that off.
Yeah, so you now have the nail in your hand.
I have the nail.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't need to write that down.
Okay.
You're not going to get a track of that.
Okay.
You got the coin. That's.
I got the coin.
Yeah, sometimes you're granted personal fortune points, and those fortune points never turn into misfortune. They are exhausted from play.
Okay.
That's very cool.
Yes. That is very cool.
So what is the particular plan? We go up, yeah?
Go up, see what's there.
Alright.
I'll follow behind since I'm a little more slow. I could keep an eye on behind us.
I'll follow behind you because I owe it to you to make sure no one creeps up from behind you.
So the stairs here are only a yard wide. So I actually need to understand who's going first, who's going next. And if you wouldn't mind, Tim, just mark like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the initiative ladder.
Pretty sure
Excuse me.
I'll go last.
You'll go last, you said?
So Sperion's 6.
I'll go second.
So I'm on 2nd.
I'll go third.
Espilison is 5.
We're just calling
Hurry
things
up.
out.
Pip, you're 4th. You got no choice.
You're right.
Well, anything
Pip's just getting pushed around on
Yeah.
We're jostled back and forth.
We're-
It's like,
Well, we're kind of scared at her at this point because she's been proving her toughness. So we gotta like protect her, put her in the middle.
Yeah.
She is moderately wounded.
she protects.
Oh, good.
And she attacks.
Protect.
She attack.
She muetas.
So, Clovis, do you make any, actually, for all of you, do you make any preparations before you ascend the stairs?
Yes, I am going to.
Give Clovis my lantern. my torch. If you want.
I'm gonna apply snake venom to my flanged mace.
Okay.
Dope.
You kind of take the bits of matted grass and muck that cover your flange mace, your Christmas mace. Slurpee. Yeah, you get your venom on your
Slurpee mace.
mace. That's right.
I'm gonna put some snake venom on my throwing knives.
Cool. That's right. You have venom too.
Yep.
How many doses of venom do you have?
Just one.
So you can apply it to one knife. Yeah, 1 dose, 1 weapon. But it's persistent. It evaporates in an hour.
Oh.
So it's unlike D&D where it's like, use your poison, it's gone. It remains in play for an hour until it evaporates. So every time you hit.
Do you want me to use my other on your blade?
I'm placing my weapons.
I'm gonna pull my misery cord out and put my Zweihander back and grab the torch.
Do you have any more soma?
I do.
A lot of soma.
Yeah, remember she's holding it all for us.
May I have 3?
Yes.
Can I look around in the crates and barrels and see if there's any more poisons in there?
Yeah. Well, there's no poison found there.
Poison.
What do you think the priest kept in this bell tower?
How do you
Barrels of poison.
How would you know it's poison?
It's actually what you find inside are these. How do I best describe it? Because I don't know the actual terminology. But there are these wooden slats that run kind of top to bottom in here, and they're arranged on like another flat plank, and you could see remnants of what used to be beehives and honeycomb around it. The bees have long left, but it appears that like this is
I know.
yeah.
He's just spearing on the.
Well, Walter was an apiarist.
Yeah, he sure was. Sure was.
You find a small ton of TUN of honey meat that we make from honey that you could take.
Honey or just honey meat?
Honeyed meat.
Okay.
Oh, I'll take some honeyed mead.
So you want to take? You can't just you want to fill up your. Do you have anything to put in there? Or you just want to take the ton?
I got a shoulder bag.
Yeah, you just pour it in. You pour beer in your purse, Sarah. I'll just have some beer.
This is
Pour it in here.
This is
Slowly
beer.
drips out and you ring it in your mouth.
No. Remember, she's from the dot, so maybe that's probably happened in the past.
purses.
Probably happened in the past.
That means it goes into a rain boot. No, so you can take the whole ton if you like.
But
and it's like this big. It's like a it's not a pony keg, but a ton is smaller than that. It's like half.
what is the encumbrance for something
3.
like that?
Might want to pick it up on our way down.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
I can't. Just
We'll just pick it up on
Pick
the
it
way.
up on the way
just
out.
when, on our
We'll
way
put
out,
it-
just make sure
We'll
you
put it
tell
in the
them.
cart.
Yeah. Quick point of clarification with respect to
Good find.
encumbrance.
Danger
This is-
cart.
This is probably an important thing to know. You can actually exceed your encumbrance limit, but every point over penalizes your initiative, and it penalizes your movement, and it penalizes the range on your weapon. If initiative or movement ever reaches 0, you've reached your max. You have to drop something. So you can be over encumbered and just suffer overage, and then you lower your initiative. This is
Right now?
yeah.
You really want to pay attention.
Just have like a group mule.
I didn't realize.
It's essentially a way to
I
kind of
already took
rationalize to resolve the whole like the D&D warrior carry several sets of armor, several weapons, things like that. Like as opposed, we try to lean toward realism, but the best way to handle it is like
that
encumbrance.
is your actual encumbrance limit.
And the best way to describe it is that
So put that back
an aluminum ladder weighs nothing. You can carry it wherever you want. But when you're in battle, I think probably weighs 25 encumbrance.
Right.
Because like, oh, I can't get around. Like, it's frantic, right? So
Those are good visuals, thank you.
encumbrance is not weight.
Yeah.
It's
Do the
how
Clumsiness.
how clumsy it would be.
Unwieldy.
How encumbering.
Yeah,
They would all be,
that makes sense.
We're trying to get through this like narrow straightway, and we're like, ugh, clunk.
My backpack's too big. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
dang ladder.
And it always, and once again,
So currently I'm at
it always
7.
leans toward realism. So if you don't have a backpack, it doesn't mean you really can't carry it, right?
You can hold it.
Yeah, you go, I've got this thing in my hand.
It's
Ladder.
just here. Yeah.
So yeah, so just clarification on that, because we rarely encounter any of the encumbered stuff, really, because we typically run like a survival horror game, so it's like supplies are limited. Back now.
It's never been a problem besides one campaign, I think.
Yeah.
And that was Gangs of Cairo, and we just always had extra. Nobody could ever carry the stuff with them.
Weapons. Yeah.
It was the opposite. There was so much stuff we were like, look at all this great. Oh, we can't carry it.
Yeah. You get to re-equip every fight. So yeah, you, Clovis, you begin to. Anybody else want to do your preparations?
I'm really ready.
Okay.
maybe snort a line of one of my
What
three
is your current
coffee,
damage
like crushed coffee beans.
condition at?
Mine?
Yeah.
Everybody's what?
Slightly wounded.
I am 100.
Damage. My damage threshold.
damage-
My damage condition.
Damage condition, which is your damage thresholds are your numbers. Your damage condition is where
You're
at
in
on
bad
it.
shape.
Yeah, I'm there. I'm previously wounded.
Oh, you can hear the humming and the rattling of the sword and its sheath on your back.
Of course I can.
You feel it's calling.
Don't we have?
I smell it. My love. Only you can hear this. Of
Yeah.
course, in your
Don't you have
back of your
laudanum?
mind.
I ain't got nothing.
So,
Is your
I will
sword
give her a
gonna kill
laudanum.
It's dooming.
if you take a dose of laudanum, which Clovis will hand you, you move one step up the damage condition track, but will suffer, or sorry, gain one corruption. Never suffer corruption, just gain
I will.
It used to be you suffered. Now
used
it's
to be,
you
not-
gain it because you're so pleasured in the corruption. Yeah,
It's not a bug, it's a
feature. I have some
it.
laudanum.
It's not a bug,
Yeah,
it's a
no, I already
feature.
get it. Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you,
of
thank
course.
To be fair,
I didn't know you
in
were
the
that
revised core rulebook, there's only 2 instances of suffer corruption. It's
Nice.
supposed to be gain, always gain.
Now I'm seriously wounded.
Okay. Seriously.
Seriously.
seriously?
So you begin to ascend up the stairs, uncertain what to expect. And as you're going up, Clovis, it's dark. You've got your torch kind of sputtering in the dark, and you've got your stiletto here, and you're kind of it's like 3 yards. It's like 1 yard wide, so it's 3 feet wide. That's how wide the stairwell is. So you're kind of like bumping up against the wall on the side of the railing, and it's not comfortable. You kind of look down in the darkness. You can't see what's down there, but you know it's a long drop. And now, 2 skill testing.
I have a little like ouchie pain, and I go kunk, and my mask hits the wall a little bit, and I'm like, sorry guys, sorry, ouch.
As you come up the stairs, and you're kind of ascending to the next floor inside this bell tower, there's like a strange metallic taste in the air, and then the smell of rotten autumn leaves and the scent of perfumed lilies lingers in the air. And as you kind of ascend upward, I wouldn't call it the room, but the level up here is softly illuminated by crackling torches. As you can see, the throngs of the damned, several of them, kind of mindlessly wandering, like patrolling the top of this entire level. And as you peek your head up, Clovis, you haven't really made yourself known yet. As you peek your head up, you see all the way across, there is another stairwell opening up.
So how many dead? How many husks are there? Sorry.
There's at least 3 throngs of the damned here. At least 3. Wandering slowly, with quite a bit of separation between them.
Do y'all want to pretend to be a throng?
I'll kind of stop everybody and I'll step back onto the stairs.
So Clovis motions 3 down to the others.
I put my hand on Suspirion's
I'll look
shoulder,
directly at Samal.
and I go,
What?
All right, I'll try to be as methodical and as slow as I can to, I guess, try to snake by him.
So you want to be clear, you want to try to pace your walking.
No, I mean, if I'm seeing it the way it is, I'm gonna look back and say, can't be done. We're gonna have to fight.
Okay, let's fight then.
Okay.
So,
let's go.
what do you want to do? Clovis, you're at the top of the round.
Well, hell.
They clearly don't hear you coming. But there is no surprise.
I kind of, Spillicent does a gesture of.
I'm gonna hand back the torch.
Mm-hmm. Take it.
I'm gonna take my egg and I'm gonna break it on my my Zweihander.
Oh, the egg of fire thing?
Yeah, so 1 action point.
Flamberger egg.
Yay.
This is just the best. I love that.
Then
Crack! The blade begins to burn in hand as you switch out your stiletto and hand back the torch, and begins to softly crackles. The whole egg just kind of forms once again, solid into a faceted crystal. And you pocket it.
Then I'm gonna move up and kick that. Then I move up and attack that first one.
Okay. So you want to hustle toward there? What's your
7.
7? Okay. So you come up around the corner. As you kind of come up the stairs, you come toward the throng of the damned, and you can see what is best described as a collection of flesh and muscle fused together. Like the husks went through some sort of vicious feeding frenzy, and the tendons of the muscle have fused together as this thing of legs and arms and limbs is kind of softly kind of crawling, and like you can hear the falls of you imagine the sound of like heavily calloused feet walking on wood. You can hear kind of softly scraping the dry sound of like the calloused feet, and among them, foremost among them, you can see that one of them, its arm is actually fused to its head, and its chest, and it's holding aloft like a softly kindling torch. This is where you were seeing the cinders fall down from. As you look up into the darkness, there's no other cinder falling. So you kind of come toward the throng of the damned. I need to actually roll initiative for them if you want to record it for me real quick.
Sure.
Throng.
That wasn't a surprise round?
There is, we can roll for it. I think it's a good point, but let me get my initiative on here first.
Okay.
They have 10. Throng of the damned.
Tim.
Damned is fine.
Tim.
The group of the dark.
If you would, I would say this: if you would like to risk surprise, you may do so.
Wrist.
So, because we're both going to pick a number on a D10. If you get it, you get surprise. If I get it, I get surprise.
Oh.
How is that possible? I saw them first.
You did, yeah, but it's you.
Okay.
It's up to you. You all want to risk surprise. It's entirely up to you.
What's the alternative?
I'm a gambler.
You just start initiative, like.
Okay.
Well, we kind of have to because Tomas second in line and nobody can get around him.
Sure enough.
Yep.
I mean,
So let's run with it. What
Yeah.
you got?
I mean,
Wait, you say we're
still,
not?
I don't like this rule at all. I mean, obviously.
Take what you get.
So you will rush toward them.
Yep.
Just so you hustle forward. It's easy. It'll see a count. Yep. Roll hit.
Oh, I thought we had to roll for surprise.
Oh, you do want to risk. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't realize that you want to do that. You can do that if you want.
Roll a D10 for that, not a 6, right?
Yeah. So I pick 6. You pick a number.
What now?
So we both. So sit down. So if we both. So if you want to risk surprise for a moment, just to be clear, to risk surprise, we would both pick a number on a D10. If it lands on my number, I get surprise. Lands on your number, you get surprise. If it lands on any other number, it's just normal combat.
Okay, 5.
Okay. Who wants to roll?
You roll 10.
Yeah.
Tim didn't raise his
7.
hand.
Okay. So nobody gets surprised. So you rush up, you crash into them with your Zweihander. It's an easy test to hit.
OBKB? Okay, I got a 88% chance. I rolled a Ona.
Nice. Go ahead and roll damage.
I'm gonna go ahead and take one of those. I'm gonna use my punishing quality. I'm gonna go ahead and take
Nice.
one of those.
Fortune. Misfortune.
And I got a 6 and
Very
a 2,
nice.
8, 5, so 13 plus 6 is 19.
Nice.
Dang.
They are seriously wounded.
And I hit them, so you need to roll to see if they light on fire.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Board
is on fire.
They will attempt to resist with their coordination test, which will equally penalize us hard.
Ah, damn, I'm on fire.
To be clear, they literally have, Red's always high, they literally have, not even kidding, a 5% chance to succeed. And I rolled a 0-7. So it was close. They catch on fire roll, so
Can't remember that one.
let's, yeah, so let's
You've always told me what that was.
let's do a quick rules clarification just to verify, because you all should probably know this. But
I think
okay.
it's a D. I think it's
Oh,
1D.
Yeah, you should know your own stats.
What is?
Not my
what's the
responsibility.
It's
question?
not on the
What's the
card.
question?
Yeah, so it adds the what quality?
The emulate. It gains
yeah.
the emulate quality.
So okay, so
Page
after
74
dealing
is
damage
fine.
with this weapon, it is extinguished. But in the case of the Flabberjay, it gets none.
Right.
When rolling chaos dice to determine injuries, if it lands on the phase 6, they're on fire instead. So,
Okay, well, I got a 6.
so I'm sorry, what?
I got a 6 for my damage. They're on fire.
No. Okay, so if we're right back into it, yeah. So go ahead and roll 2d6, or they're seriously wounded, so 2d6.
Oh, C's. Okay.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. I didn't get anything. So.
Okay. Remember, you can always use the fortune point to turn into phase
Sure.
6.
Let's turn it in there.
Roll 3d10 plus 3 damage. They're on fire.
I got 16 plus 3 is 19 again.
Nice. So the throng literally crumples into a mass of limbs and flesh, and as they all die, you hear the words that they shared up on their dying breath. So on the count of 3, we're gonna say what all their words were when they died. So 1, 2, 3.
Cheese puffs.
And they literally collapse before you in a mess of limbs and flesh, as they are instantly dispatched. And as that happens, it probably captures the attention of the others. And so, Clovis, anything else you wish to do? You've only spent 2 action points.
I probably should. No. I used. Then one of those needs to. I ran. I attacked, and I did the Flabberjay.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
That's
so
3 plus the additional that I took to do my punishing.
anything else you want to do then?
I have 0 options to do anything.
Okay. So, Guillaume, you are obviously
Yes, indeed.
third in line.
Mm-hmm.
You can't press past your friends.
Right.
Unless you want to risk falling off.
It's only a yard wide, and it's about a 70-foot drop from here, 80-foot drop.
Is there, just out of curiosity, is there any reason you wouldn't want to just shift your initiative to what your marching order is right now?
I was thinking that would probably be a better idea.
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
But that
I'm
means
I'm
they.
fine with that.
Any nays?
I mean, they get to
They
move a
just
little bit.
Yeah, so go ahead and reorder everybody if you would. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then put the damned at.
It's basically that.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's right. Yeah,
Quick switch.
Yeah.
It's really that.
yeah.
We probably should have did that. once
I
we-
think that's I actually think that instead you should put the damned between Aspillicet and Suspiriancy. Sorry, yeah, because the lowest initiative was 9, where Toma was.
Right.
So I would say just put the damned between Aspillicet and Suspiriancy, because that at least gives people who rolled better a chance, and the person who rolled worse, who is actually everybody's holding their turn to let you go.
Mhm.
So if we're thinking about this from game mechanics perspective, everybody's waiting until Guillaume goes and everybody takes their turn.
I should wait for the most important person.
Yeah.
As it should be. Wait for Guillaume.
Yeah.
Then you.
That's right. So Toma, what would you like to do? You're obviously next in line. This is literally kind of where you're at on the stairwell. You were directly behind him, so we'll put you here. So as everybody's turn comes up, we'll just put you on the landing. And keep in mind, these stairs are like equivalent to 1 yard movement. is the
I'm
best
going
way
to charge up
describe
the
it.
stairs and turn the corner and attack that one.
Okay.
So my movement is 9.
Nice.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Uh-huh.
and then that's my second part of the charge.
And what will you do next?
It's going to be a standard attack.
Okay. Melee attack. So your
Yep.
chest is going to be trivia.
Trivial.
You got him from behind.
Martial melee.
You're charging.
Charged.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You got
Yeah,
some
you
stuff.
get the pluses for charging. You get the triples. Wow.
Yeah.
90. Yeah, success with a 5.
Nice. Go ahead
Got
and
some
roll
margin.
damage.
There's a 6.
Maybe.
8.
And then
plus 6,
one more for
14. 18.
Nice. Total.
18 total.
Okay. You bring your weapon to bear down toward them. They are crushed as you sweep your flanged mace toward them. Boom! They are moderately wounded. Roll a d6 cast to determine injury.
So 1. And I did have snake venom on that as well.
You do, and you find that it is
Ineffective.
completely ineffective. They are not living things.
Figured as much.
They still possess the power of locomotion, but they are not alive.
Waste of good venom right there.
Does that mean that our venom
You can put that knife to the
gone?
side.
you can't put it
It'll
back?
evaporate in an hour.
I can't put it back.
Every husk is doing
Doesn't go back in the bottle.
But at least you know now. Like you've started to kind of learn some things about
Myself.
I will push them out of the engagement. I'll just push them.
okay. With the powerful quality.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And that's it for me. My turn's
Yeah.
not done.
All right. So that brings us next to the Estrella.
Gil.
Guillaume.
Oh, Gil.
Gil.
Sorry.
All right, I'm going to. I don't have crazy good movement, but that's fine. I'm going to.
Thank you. Spin it toward you here.
So I am going to.
If you don't mind, and put this in the center.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm going to
That's a
just make
book
it
for
just,
what
just
you
make it
got.
hard for me. It's fine. It's
And
fine.
hungry eyes.
I'm-
Hungry eyes.
I am going to charge, so it's going to be 12.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Movement. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, Clovis. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Okay.
Okay. And then. I'm gonna wait.
So you would bank the rest of your action points.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna wait until later to act, but must do so before we get.
So
hustle.
to be clear,
Hustle.
you can't. When you wait, you're holding all your action points to act later in the round.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's my mistake.
No, it's okay. No, this is actually something you're probably not familiar with this. So, whenever if you decide like, you know what, I'm gonna wait until later to go. I want to see what happens. We would pull your initiative off the ladder. When you take your initiative, we would actually re-slot you in.
Got you.
But if you take an action, you can still bank any additional action points that you have.
Okay.
Would you like to mulligan that?
Yeah, if I could.
Yeah.
Because-
What would you intend to do instead?
Well, if I'm gonna do that, and I know I already have like.
Keep in mind, nobody can get past you unless you get off those stairs.
Yeah.
That's the only
No.
consideration
We're
here, yeah.
staying mobile. Don't worry.
Okay.
We're staying very mobile. As a matter of fact, we might be going more mobile.
Oh, nice.
Okay. I think I'm gonna spend.
one away from you too.
I'm actually instead what I'm gonna do is retcon. I'm gonna use all 3 AP for a run.
Oh, nice.
So 3 times movement value and gain low cover.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Yep. That's a rule clarification in the Red Book. As opposed to adding plus X to your damage threshold, actually gives you advantage of cover.
all right, so I'm gonna move my guy
you-
another 6
Run.
and give
Yeah.
myself low cover. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I don't think anyone's ever ran in a long time in this game.
That was fun. Yeah.
Not since
You
the rule
could,
change. I don't
you
think
could
it was-
spend a fortune point and attack.
Sure can. Yeah.
Actually,
you,
yeah, that's what I always forget that you can use fortune points.
yeah.
So cool.
So real clarification: run up to 3 times your movement and gain the benefits of low cover until the beginning of your next turn because you're in motion. But you can't run when you're prone, and it provokes an opportunity attack if you move away
Sure.
of being engaged with foes. So you want to actually like close the distance in that case.
I want to stay. Yeah, I want to stay that 1 yard away. And yeah,
Can I give you a piece of critical advice?
sure.
Do a hustle and then a charge.
Okay. Oh well. Can I get a rules clarification on that? So I would still be 1 yard away.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that I have with that is a whip. It is a
Okay.
non-damaging weapon. Could I add damage with a charge to a non-damaged weapon?
That's a great question. The answer is no.
Okay, so yeah, then I'm just going to stick with my run so that I have low cover since I can't do that. And
makes
then I'm going to
sense.
spend that
That makes sense.
fortune point
If you had a damaging weapon, that would have been good.
Bingo. Yeah. And could get that space.
That's
yeah,
right.
exactly.
So
100% right. Yeah.
Nice. So do you want to strike them from here?
Yes, I want to strike them, readying my whip
Okay.
to strike.
Yep. Go ahead and make a. So at the beginning of the round, go ahead and make a trivial test.
Sweet. 94.
MBD.
82.
Nice.
So we are going to use the
Entangling.
yeah, I'm going to use the entangling quality to do.
Chokehold or takedown?
Yeah, I know. I'm going to do takedown.
Takedown. Okay.
This will not be a push. This will be prone.
Okay. They got a 5% chance to resist.
Let's go.
Yeah, and it's always red high. 21. I am clearly not going to re-roll that because I have a 5% chance. I have this force
Spin that
control
baby.
tablet.
Spin that baby.
So you crack the whip, and you manage to twist it around the one with the torch, and that one kind of goes tumbling. The rest of them kind of fall over onto one another as they collectively the throng are equivalent to oh my god the fake throng.
Did it just break?
Yeah, it's
Good.
broken before. Yeah.
Good Cisco reference.
Yeah, it happens
Aw.
before, but it's all good. So they are effectively prone at this point on the ground, on the floor, I should say, of the interior of the bell tower.
So that would be then. I still have my low cover till the end of my next turn.
if you ran.
He did.
I did. I
Okay,
ran
yeah.
and did the thing.
Sweet, yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yep,
Cool.
that's right. Anything else, Guillaume?
No, that is the end of my turn. Pipistrella, it is now your turn.
Ooh, Pipistrel, what will you do?
Pipistrella is going to come to the top of the stairs, so she starts here, and then 1, 2, 3. What's her mark? 4, 5, 6, 7, and she's going to aim with her bow towards this group over here.
Are you loaded for 1 AP?
I was carrying my bow.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's just gonna go ahead and aim and shoot. And if you'd rather me spend that to load it, I can go without the aim.
So, I'm gonna allow you to do this. I will say that probably in the future for ranged weapons, just something for us all to pay attention to. Like if you have a weapon that you want to load before you do something, that's why I asked if you want to prepare for anything.
Okay.
But we'll let you assume that it's loaded.
Yeah.
For this point purpose, and the reason why ranged weapons have load values is because in certain situations, it would be very easy to exploit this if you use your ranged weapon only your first turn, providing that's why you want people to ask them to narratively
Sure.
prepare. So regardless, but you let your arrow. So
I'll remember that.
So what's your distance on the? What's your short distance?
14.
14. Oh, God, yeah, you got it.
So,
you count on.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
And they're prone on the ground.
Go.
So that's going to be an easy test for you.
Okay, easy, simple range.
Use the arrow.
Range, so easy will make it 61%.
Nice.
56 will do it.
Nice. Roll damage.
Or-
Got additional d6. They're prone-y.
Okay. There's a 6.
Whoa!
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Nice.
Giving me another. Ah.
That's right.
It's like
12
traps.
damage.
Nice. Okay. Well, they're unfortunately are only lightly wounded by the arrow.
Yeah.
So the arrow thud sticks in the flesh. Anything else you wish to do?
You rolled 2d6, right?
I did. She's not built
rolls.
for ranged combat. I don't
Gotcha.
keep giving her ranged weapons.
Hey, you knocked
Tiny, like-
him down. You knocked him down on the damage condition track.
All right.
Yeah.
60 pounds
So-
bow.
Yeah.
Pull 20.
I got
so
this.
Just like stepping onto it and like.
Their feet.
And what's funny is her brawn bonus is 6, but anyways,
Tough cookie.
yeah. So
Tough mutter.
I went forward. I did aim, so
Yeah.
and then shot. So that's all 3.
All right. So
Okay.
it's.
Oh, I'm sorry, I can't
It's okay.
see
No worries.
because I'm having
This is
solidarity. With
Yeah.
Oh, solidarity with Dave.
can I take my glasses off too?
Staying
It's
strong.
my
I think mine out, but
I'm like 5 inches from it.
Yeah.
God, I can't
So as
see
Phil
I'm
said,
after you.
Bless your heart.
so if we moved you to the landing as an example.
Are you doing it too?
I can't.
Is that where we're
Fine.
starting
Me
from?
too.
Is the landing?
Yeah, the landing. Yeah.
Why I like
So-
So for a spill set, what do you want to do?
Since I'm pretty wounded, I'm gonna.
Yeah, that's my
You
problem.
need to protect yourself.
I need to protect myself, so I am gonna advance up out
So to make some room for
to make space for
Suspirion.
Suspirioncy to come up. And since there's more people kind of
There you go. No,
going
it's
around
all
this
there.
side, I'm gonna
It's all
kind of
there.
come around this side to help
Okay,
back up.
so move toward Tilmanda, just hustle up.
1, 2, 3. What's my hustle?
I think that's just your regular movement.
8. Nice. That's right, you move fast.
4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm just gonna I'm gonna just
Hang back.
bank whatever I've got and just
So
hang.
2 AP in the
Yeah.
bank.
Okay. Mine.
Just remember, at this point, you were not armed. You could have pushed
Let
it.
me grab my staff.
Okay.
I'm gonna
so
grab my
spend an
staff.
action point to do that.
Yep, so I'm gonna bank an action point, I'm gonna
Okay.
have my staff,
Okay.
and then I'm going to pass it on to the damned.
Oh,
dirty
yes. So
Damn
dirty.
do.
the
Here's your.
thrashing of limbs, this dread throng of the damned, kind of whip starts around back toward Tala. And as they do so, because they did not suffer fire damage during that round, they move one step up the damage condition track as their flesh seems to crawl with these strange maggots that seem to kind of work and interweave the flesh back together as it is lightly wounded. And the throng begins to proceed forward toward Tama as they hustle 1 yard, the whole collection of them. And Tama, you see their arms reaching out and trying to grab you as this mess of fingers and limbs are trying to pull you into them. As they are going to make just a melee attack.
Okay.
This test for them will be standard. Oh, never mind. I missed. So I'm actually going to spend a misfortune point to re-roll to see what happens here. Maybe we'll try once again. And I did not hit that time either. So as they're gnashing with their limbs and such, they miss. However, I'm going to spend my last action point to try melee attack again, but their chance grows worse. You can always retry a failed attack or failed perilous stun, but it's
But
one
it gets
step
like
lower.
the one. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a challenge.
I hit this time.
There you go.
So as they deal, where am I not looking here? Here we go. They deal 8 damage,
Okay.
and as their hands are pulling toward you, because they have the sweeping quality, you need to resist with the coordination test to not be pulled to the ground. This test is standard coordination.
50% chance to succeed, and that is a critical success.
Oh, nice!
Oh, let's get 4 of those.
I'm
So-
moderately wounded too, by the way.
I'm sorry, what?
Moderately wounded.
You were moderately wounded?
Yes. They did damage to me. I'm moderately wounded.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. So roll a d6 cast.
Okay.
Oh.
There's a 6.
Wow.
Oh man,
Hit your finger.
Yeah.
you're too honest. You're too honest.
I am too
We should've
Yeah, I
honest.
mean, it didn't even stay in the
Yeah.
thing, man. Is that an
So
effect?
pick a card. You know what? No. You rolled a critical success.
Okay.
You avoid injury.
All right.
Let's make it worth it.
There you go.
However, because I am vicious master, I am
Throw
going
me
to
off the
spend.
edge.
I am going to spend a misfortune point to attempt a takedown.
Okay.
Did
Ah.
anyone
Nice.
see my 6 misfortune point combo that happened 3 game sessions ago with the Throng of the Damned?
Yes.
Okay, so they're gonna try to yank you down. And I rolled a 0-4.
Ah.
You must resist with a challenging coordination test.
Challenging coordination.
As they try to pull you down to the ground, taking you down prone.
All right. 40% chance. I failed, but I will re-roll.
Okay. Alright, take the misfortune point back. Alright.
And I succeed that time.
Nice.
35.
Well, they pull and they pull and they try to get you to the ground, and it doesn't seem to really do much. And they are going to. I'm going to spend a misfortune point to try again.
Oh my god! Monster.
Hey,
as they're clamoring over Tama, like with them, they're just kind of thrashing and pushing him back, sweeping his mace back and forth, and strikes the stone beside him, and he brings it crashing down, cracking one in the skull.
It makes the combat so swing.
And I actually hit. So you can attempt to resist with takedown with a routine coordination. test
Routine.
now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little better.
Coordination, 60% chance. Ooh, I got it with a 59.
Nice! So at the very end of
sweet, I
it,
love
Toma manages to you see him swallowed up in the limbs and the flesh. And he he's swinging his mace, and he manages to crawl out from the mess of limbs you think he's going to be pulled in. Their turn is over, turning back to the other throng way over here.
All right.
Because they weren't struck with fire damage before, one of them reaches up and yanks the air out and throws it over the edge, and you see this collection of limbs and arms kind of reach up as it gets up for 2 action points. It has no skill rank and coordination, so it costs 2 AP for them to do that. And even though I'm missing one of the ones over here. Standing up
It's a
while
throng.
engaged does not provoke an opportunity attack unless they were to move away 1 yard, which you can technically do with get up, but they're not going to do that.
Just a point of clarification. I did engage them while they were a yard away. Would they get up engaged with me?
No,
My apologies.
Engaged in a yard
yeah.
away are 2 different things. So
That's right.
They could get up and move forward.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Just to make
Yeah,
sure.
so they,
Cool.
they get up and they that's the thing about get up now is you actually get up and can move up to 1 yard.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
so if somebody knocks you, as an example, if somebody knocks you off your feet with powerful and knocks you back 1 yard, and for some reason you're knocked prone, it's actually it's a counterbalance to that quality.
Okay.
So they come to their feet and then thrashing of limbs. They're like Morlocks from the Murlocs from Warcraft.
It's such a good.
But you got your cover.
I would just play World of Warcraft just to murder those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Limbs and arms as hungry hands try to grab you. Hungry hands.
Oh, my hungry eyes.
I
love
hit.
those.
Well,
Okay.
did you add in the cover?
Cover adds to damage threshold.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it would-
They changed. You guys changed it. That's right. Sorry.
That's right. It used to add just +3, but we changed it to low cover to normalize the language. It actually doesn't modify chances to strike. It just increases your damage threshold. It's assuming that you're still going to be able to be hit. It's just you can withstand more because you're like, wow. Okay. Yeah.
That's a hell of an explanation from the game master, and I like it. I'm in for it.
So
That's how I explain things. It's just noises.
I
So.
said you just didn't bank the action.
I did not know.
So I'll roll damage.
Yes.
Rolling. I'll turn that to a 6 with this misfortune point. So 6 plus 6
What?
plus 4. That's 12, 16, 22 damage.
Cool. I'm gonna spend a fortune point for Grim Resolve.
As you do that. Yeah.
That's a lot of damage. That was intense. That was so much damage. That was intense.
That was me not breathing that entire
I saw
time.
that. I saw that. No, I was just like, something's going on.
So like,
So,
God, I hope this works.
you must resist
Yeah.
using coordination or be knocked prone.
Of course.
It's going to be a challenging test for you, as they have the sweeping quality. They're trying to pull you down.
Oh boy. You got it. You got it.
Boys, it's been fun.
Technically, this should be a roll before damage because the assumption is you get that bonus damage to prone. But whatever.
Gotcha. My bad.
That's my bad, actually.
95. So pretty sure I ain't gonna do it.
Okay.
I mean, it's a 28 is what I mean.
Yeah.
to
So
make,
as you're pulled off your feet and knocked prone,
Mhm.
they go into a feeding frenzy and make an opportunity attack.
How many APs do these things have?
That's a reaction.
They're monsters.
God.
Yeah.
That's
really
fine.
would
You hear me from the other
They
side going,
hit.
get on to me.
I'll roll damage. Because they're on the ground. 5 plus 6, so 11 damage.
Okay. I am lightly wounded.
Okay.
Yeah, these things tore Suspiriancy up.
Yeah, because I can't.
They
can't
sure
use that,
did.
unfortunately.
Yeah,
You
there's.
gotta be careful.
I don't think you were here that day, Tim,
it was
but
me.
yeah, they
Was it you?
they
You can
unloaded
only use it.
6.
Once a turn or once a round.
Yeah, the thing about the throng is like once they get a hold of you, they don't let go. Because there's a collection of
Like
them,
an
and their
alligator.
attacks are in a
That's right.
burst radius, so they attack everybody in a
Devastating.
burst.
Okay.
But because we technically, even though there's not really hard corners here, we're assuming the burst doesn't extend out to, like, say, attack Millicent because she's on the opposite side. But if it's like an open space, it would 100% attack in a burst radius, which is 3 yards per direction.
I'm assuming I can only use.
3 yards.
Because there's so many of them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're kind of wild. So their turn is over.
I'm assuming I can only use Grim Resolve once per round. Or
You can use it as many times as you like with your fortune points. In fact, if you, I think it's if you look under the human trait,
okay.
Grim Resolve. So immediately after suffering damage from a melee or ranged weapon, spend a fortune point to ignore it.
That's fine.
That's use it multiple
Magic
times.
on the other hand.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think you
Don't
can only
worry.
use Grim Resolve once a turn. I thought they.
Either I was just checking. I'm
It's tied
lightly
to
wounded. And I'm
fortune.
cool with that.
Is
Just
it,
stick
oh,
with
so you could use it as many times as you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the damned's turn is over. Now it's Suspiriance's turn.
Riding with Beyonce. Let's go.
Suspiriance.
Okay,
Hello.
All the single ladies.
is venom flammable?
No. Are you wanting to turn your
Bring that up
weapon
right now.
into a burning
Oil.
something?
Yeah.
Oil is flammable.
Yeah, I am.
Oil's flammable.
Pull a torch out.
Is arsenic?
No. Using a bandage and a pot of oil, you may impart the immolate quality to 9 arrows. To ignite them, spend 2 AP in combat. It's in the trade.
Same thing with your knife.
Huh?
You could literally, if you had a bandage and a pot of oil, you could impart the immolate quality to 9 arrows.
I don't have oil.
Not burning
so-
knives. That's silly, but burning
We're gonna
arrows,
move on.
yes.
Burning knife is silly, guys.
Moving
You
on.
can do
Who's
it.
that?
Oh, my hands! I cast burning hands.
Can you tell me how far my moves can
Literally.
go? Distance 1 PV equals 5 yards.
Okay,
How
so,
many are these guys?
So they're 1 yard each.
What's your perception bonus?
You can't. You really can't move there because of how we're set up. You're gonna have to go the other way.
Okay, yeah, so that would be 5 yards. Yeah.
Can't
Okay.
get there from here.
So let's say I got a question here.
You
So I
can't
was
run
at the
through
back of the line. Let's say I never moved up,
Yeah.
and I'm just right there. Can I throw some knives at these guys from here?
Unfortunately, you don't have line of sight because you're so far
Funny angle.
below. It's a funny angle, so you can't do it from here. Good question.
Hilarious, though.
It's a hilarious
So
thing.
funny.
But the reality is
So
that
funny.
if you were looking at the map, you're technically wound underneath the stairs here.
That-
As they kind of
Okay,
go, they go
I see, I
around like
see.
this. They kind of go like this.
That wasn't a cute joke.
like this.
Hey.
All
You're
right,
telling us
so
to use our
Offended or
imagination?
so I was definitely
Come on
moving the
now.
whole time.
It's math.
So you'll basically start your turn at the landing.
You can't,
Right
you can't
here?
move through us.
No,
guys.
the
where you
landing
were just where.
you're
Right here,
standing.
okay.
Yeah,
You can't move through us.
she can. She can't move through enemies.
Oh.
You can move through allies always.
He meant on that little.
On the stairs.
Yeah, there was
Yeah, on the
1 yard.
stairs. Yeah, different.
I'm not trusting my ass with the coordination. Thank you very much.
I wouldn't do it either.
I don't.
Why do you think I went in front?
I don't roll very well on that one.
So you're trying to figure out what you want to
Yeah,
do here.
she's just counting her distance.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got
Going
1, 2,
distance.
3,
She's-
4, 5,
she's doing
6,
it
7. I'm
properly.
trying to save
She's
you.
not
You're
touching-
smart about it.
She's not touching
Yeah,
her
6, 7.
figure.
Mhm.
Okay. So if I go here, can I throw this way?
Well,
You
so
have to
you
count the
can, but you
squares
have
just
to
like
count
you
your
do.
range on your
Orthogonally.
weapons orthogonally. You can't count diagonally, count orthogonally. Yeah.
All right. So
I'm
then
sure
I
using
got
that
5
one.
have to
yards.
hustle up.
What?
Orthogonally.
Orthogonal, yeah.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it, and now I'm using it constantly. I don't care.
Yeah, we don't use diagonal
Yeah,
because
we
we have
stopped
such a
using
small play area for our figures. We always measure
Makes sense.
diagonally.
Yeah.
North, south, east, west is what I say.
That's why I always laughed at like D&D with like the longbow ranges of like 120 feet.
Yeah, it's like,
what
is it even-
map?
Yeah, what mapping? No map. Theater of the mind map, not the figures.
So only castles.
Okay. I got a plan.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going. I got 7 movement. So I'm gonna choose 2 APs, 7 movements. So I'm right here now.
Okay.
And then I'm going to, unfortunately, did not prepare my throwing knife, so I'm going to have to load with 1 AP,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm going to use a fortune point to throw it at those bad boys.
You got all engaged with him.
Okay, so I would actually quick rules clarification for you too. So the only time you can use a ranged weapon when you are engaged is if it has the gunpowder quality. So my recommendation would be for you to actually be 1 yard back.
Or 2.
Or 4, yeah.
Or
Just don't
four-
use all my
or
don't
four-
use all my movement.
Or
That's
4,
right. You
so
can-
they can't get you.
You can shorten your movement anytime you
As you
want.
should see Guillaume rolling around the floor.
So I
It's
can
all
go
part of the
right
plan.
there.
It's fine.
Yeah.
And then
This was
Providing you
happening.
can rate up distance. What's your distance on a night on a
it's 5.
5?
So
Oh yeah.
we're good.
So yeah. Okay. Roll.
It's PvP.
Alright, so to roll
You roll a simple range.
simple range, I got a 43. So is it what's my
It's routine.
routine? Okay.
You toss a dagger. A knife.
Kniffy.
A kniffy.
Okay. Here we go. Alright, so 53, so I need to get below 53. I got 39, so that's a good. That's
Cool.
that's a win.
Roll damage.
That's a good.
That's good.
It's a good one.
That's a Mario. That's a good.
It's a meal.
Okay, I'm rolling damage, which is 1d6. And I got a 5.
I love the Mario.
And then,
Okey-dokey.
what's the quality of the knife? Is it finesse at all?
It's agility bonus.
Okay, so
There's
yeah,
throws,
add your agility bonus then.
Cha-cha-cha.
So 5 plus 4, so 9 damage.
9 damage.
Okay, well, the good thing is that your knife made them
Hurt.
wounded.
Made him hurt. You made him hurt.
The knife was one thing that you notice, and I should clarify this because the grid can be deceiving. When I say that they are all over, like limbs and arms and moving, we see them in the grid like in 2 squares, but the reality is they're actually occupying a lot more room than what's represented here. And you realize that
I was just checking.
where you're standing, you are at risk of being
Yeah.
struck,
Moderately
even if they
wounded.
do not move, because the limbs are thrashing everywhere. You recall that they attack at least 6 yards out when they attack.
Okay.
6? I thought you just said 3.
Burst 6 all distances.
All distances.
First template.
Suspiriancy is
6 yards in all
fancy.
directions.
So Clovis, you're up.
Charge!
Yeah. What do you want, Clovis?
Charge!
Okay. So you and
Just a flaming,
Flaming
How many?
Zweihander running at him like this.
streaking
Oh,
through.
he'll close the
I
distance.
yeah, I
He's
have
moving
14.
it
I can close
along.
the distance.
So,
It doesn't matter. I counted him
Right there.
prior.
yeah, you charge.
I'm actually going
forward.
to be 1 yard out, but it doesn't matter.
You want to be 1 yard back? Okay. Well, it's routine.
Routine. So that is a
Routine, I like
88.
Guillaume can see.
And I
up
rolled
your
an
pants.
86. Holy
Oh,
shit.
let's go.
Okay.
You come in with your sword.
That's scary as hell.
Okay.
Plunge it in.
And I'm going to go ahead and take one of those.
Oh.
And I'm going to go and add punishing to it for 3d6.
Yeah.
Your charge plus 5. Yeah.
Oh,
If they're on the ground, it would be
10 plus.
46.
Only 17 points.
Only 17.
Only 7.
So
There's some fire involved.
they are seriously wounded. Go ahead and roll 2d6. Let's see if they are.
All right.
Take him out.
There's a 6.
Yes.
He's on
The throng catches ablaze.
Okay,
As
that
they,
is 10 plus 3, 13 more points of flame damage.
I will say that the other thing you've learned about the throng is they are constantly in an enfeebled state. They are always kind of fighting and vying just to move around. So any sort of injury you inflict automatically kills them.
Okay, so they are part of that.
Yeah. So
Because I need to hustle.
yeah, so they kind of fall over, and even though you've caught them ablaze, the torch as well catches them ablaze.
Okay.
Because they kind of fall to pieces.
They
like
pull one of the
before you.
torches down on them.
That's right. Yeah. And of course they all say their dying words on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
I'm pooping.
Fatality.
Fatality.
They all kind of crumble in a mess of limbs and
Fatality.
burn and fatality. Friendship.
Friendship.
They all kind of crumble, and they're now slain. And no more than just a yard from you, of course, is Thomas, who was, or sorry, Guillaume. Brought low.
I had it under control.
I got this.
You look like
Do you
you're
think
doing
this
good.
was you, Clovis?
That's everything, and I remember I stole an extra one, so.
Sure did.
It is
I didn't
now
extra.
Tama.
Where'd that extra
It's
one
all
go?
mine, and you are up now, sir.
All right.
Alright,
Make
Tama.
it to you next.
I'm going to pull a.
Needs an extra one.
I'm going to pull a torch out of my pack and light it,
Okay, 2 AP.
and then I will attack with it.
I
already gave you a
When
torch.
you used it, though?
Oh, I was already holding a torch actually.
Yeah, I
I'm
gave
sorry.
you a torch.
Instead of that, I will equip the torch at the beginning.
Oh,
of
I
my
So
don't
switch
think I
hands.
grabbed
Yeah.
Okay.
Did anyone else?
No, that's
So,
why you
Oh.
this is important to remember because torches work a little different than this. But so if you attack with a torch, this is going to be a routine test. They appear to be a little bit afraid of fire, strangely enough. So go ahead and roll to strike. It's a routine test.
Okay.
71% chance to
Carry
succeed. 3 success. Actually, no, 63. But
Nice. It's 1d6 plus BB.
7 damage.
Okay, so they are moderately wounded. So you roll 1d6.
Okay.
Cast it to see if they're injured. 6.
All right, I rolled a 4, but I'll spend a fortune point to turn to a 6.
All right. Well, bam! He strikes them with the torch, and the torch has the break quality, so it shatters. It breaks,
Let's get to emulate them.
and they are dispatched without any further ado.
Because of the end.
Okay, so that's the smart way to do it, is always have the torches ready.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do we want to put our hands in there and get some soma?
Absolutely.
Add it to my
Soma action.
large pack of soma.
Oh, I tell you what. Actually, I'm
I
gonna
forgot
take
to use
this.
it, I was going to.
I'm gonna take this off my stuff. You can add 3 soma to your pack if you're the one carrying it.
Got you.
So, if you wish to see if any soma can be recovered from this,
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Once they are quieted, they are quiet. Yeah. So, who wants to root through the 3?
Yeah, there's 3 of us.
Okay. All of you roll 1d6.
Everyone?
No, just 3 of them. They slew the other throne.
I rolled a 1.
Means you get nothing.
Anyone who rolled face 1 through 2, you find 3 soma among the bodies.
I had 5.
You didn't find anything.
It's the opposite, that's what it is. So 1 is good.
How heavy are these things? Because I got 20 of them.
I mean, so
You have
2
20?
I
encumbrance.
have 20 of them.
So they weigh 9 of them weigh 1 encumbrance.
Or 3 encumbrances. If you got to, divide them up, start dividing them out.
Yeah, I think I might see if one of you wants to take.
I am nowhere clear, close to encumbered.
Oh,
so.
I'm giving you back your 3.
Sounds good.
I can take some too.
I'll give you
Like,
3
everybody
as
should
well.
have at least 1 or 2 on them in case we
So
need
I'll
to use
give
them.
you. I'll give Guillaume 3. I'll give you 3.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want one? I'll hold your stuff, Pip.
She already took 3.
Oh yeah, you have 3. You guys
I
want
already
any?
have 3.
No, I already have.
You're, okay, so I gave away 3. Okay. Or I gave
Well, actually, I
away
have
6.
2. Give me 1. That
Okay.
way,
You want 1?
yeah, that
Okay.
way it reduces you down to now just 1 encumbrance.
Are 3 of some is small?
Great.
Oh wait, you're over the 1, so you're.
I've
still
I'm
2.
I've got
One.
13. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
so
yeah, it's better than 20.
Yeah, 3 encumbrance for some.
Yeah. I just have balls clinging around.
Well, that's a lot of petrified essence, huh?
When you start using them.
I know, man. I started looking at the secrets again because I was like, wait. There's a bunch of really good stuff in here.
Yeah, Pipistrella has used quite a few.
Yeah.
Did you use a lot of somas?
Yes, she has.
Around here, as you're looking around, you can see that there's little bits of bone and rotten vines that have been kind of left in the wake of something moving through here. Bits of gray
Oh,
dirt.
good.
That sounds like the grave spider. That's at least what Guillaume's thinking. If those are the vines that look familiar in the undercroft.
Yeah, very.
So I look up.
Yeah, you look upward, and you notice that who has light at this point? Do we have another torch?
I have 6
Your torch
torches.
is destroyed when you get it.
She had a
Torches
ran out
break.
last time, but I don't know.
Yeah. So, quick clarification: if you strike something with a torch, it is broke.
Right.
It's destroyed. It's useful if you want to try to catch something on fire. Is the best way to look at it.
I still have my torch, and I totally forgot that I had it in my hand. Otherwise, I would have
Okay, so
used it on the throw.
I got it.
Totally
you guys.
forgot.
So you lift your torch, and a torch, unlike a lantern which casts light, kind of outward, it casts light upward as well. And within
My sword is on fire.
yeah, and your sword's on fire too. Well, your sword casts enough light as candlelight on this torch.
Oh, candlelight.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a soft kindling, but it's there. So like a blazing sword, but it burns with like blue flame constantly.
For 1 hour.
For 1 hour, that's right. Or if you want, you can always crack the Fabergé egg in the morning and have it be a full meal for you for a full day.
It's always nice.
Yeah. You can literally eat the egg.
Over easy every time.
It's my
With toast.
favorite magic.
60% of the time it works. Every time.
Yes, it will. So you lift the torch and in the light, in the fleeting shadows just outside of the illumination, you can see that the darkness terminates as it meets toward the underside of a flat wooden platform far above. And as you're looking, you can see the stairwell winding up, and there's this like closed trap door over the stairwell that leads up. Like this must be the top of the bell tower.
Yeah. Well, let's finish what we came here for, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Is this where the bell is that we've been ringing?
Yep.
Let's go.
I
Let's ring
assume
that
so.
baby.
We haven't seen the bell yet, but we will.
Oh.
I hope.
You can
I
hear.
got my 1 bandage left. Does anybody want to try and...
Oh, actually, yeah. Before we go any farther, can I just grab a quick cup of coffee?
Sure, you have to drink a cup of cold coffee.
I'll take the bandage, sure.
Phil?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
cold
makes
coffee
me-
will move
You
you
gotta
from
talk to her about it.
minus 1 to imperil
That's it.
instantly.
I only have the 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, coffee. If you ever need anything, if you ever at -1 skill rank, you can drink coffee and move 1 step with the imperil immediately.
Where do you get coffee from in the Undercroft?
Yeah.
Well,
And
some
the
people
bell
started with
I mean, I
that.
have leather on
Listen,
too.
Guillaume
I have
is
armor on too,
prepared.
but
Not some
Nice.
French press.
Need
You
it.
know,
You have some coffee?
I have some coffee.
I didn't realize people had coffee.
well, I'll save
we
it.
come prepared.
I don't know if she's got any here.
Excellent.
Does anyone,
Noted.
does anyone else have bandages?
I have a tabard.
I have tincture.
I have
That's what
tincture
have.
too.
Okay, I'll save
Yeah,
the
you were
bandages
kind of
then.
low on bandages.
I could wrap
You
up
were
my-
kind of looking
I'll,
for honey.
think I
I'll
have the
save
only
it.
one.
I'll save
Can
it.
I
Talk
wrap-
about it, Dan.
Can I rip up my tabard?
Yeah, can I rip up my dress?
You could absolutely do that and form these really dirty, blood-stained bandages.
Yeah.
Oh wait, hold on.
So the answer is yes.
Yes.
But-
they-
That could infect
Infection.
They
you.
could-
Yeah.
I mean, my
Yeah.
tabard is pretty
Yeah.
pristine. It came off of a dead corpse, but
It hasn't
It was
been
really-
purified with honey.
Yeah. So
That's
bandages are prepared with honey, and anyone who has a single skill rank in heal cannot immediately prepare a number of bandages.
If you're wanting me to create bandages, I can, if we have the time.
No. That was just
Keep moving.
seeing
just
if
keep moving.
somebody needed to be healed.
Well, I do, but I only have 1, and I was keeping it for more dire
Emergency.
circumstances.
That's what I was keeping in mind.
Yeah, I'll save it.
There's 1, 2, 3.
I can
4
handle.
people with armor on.
I'll grit my teeth and pain and struggle through the pain.
Okay.
I'm
Or boss.
willing to bind someone up if you wish me to. Yeah, I do.
Trying to push all that healing on us.
Everybody's there's just some
We'll
lot-
save
lot of
it
folks in there.
for save it for a more dire situation.
Save it for me later.
That's a good point.
Have you been bandaged yet in the past 24 hours? I know you've been
I haven't.
healed from your injury, but so
Actually, I had because on the last, unless you did it on the last one, then
no,
no.
we don't.
She
So,
is spell set took laudanum tonight too, so she can be absolutely. And remember, you can always use calcified soma as many times as you
Oh,
like.
that's true.
That is true.
We've got a lot of soma.
Question:
Yes.
Just take your 9.
being grievously wounded or seriously wounded in the condition I'm in, does it affect my peril condition track?
Nope. Your peril is your mental and physical
Well,
state.
that's why I
Your
was.
damage threshold is your body.
I
Yeah.
wondered if the grievous wound would cause some kind of peril. I didn't know if there was
Some
some
do.
coordination.
Some
Okay.
do, but
it's
I would let
usually
you. I
mentioned.
would let you
Okay.
know. Yeah. And to be clear, peril is anxiety, stress, fear, fatigue.
Right.
Damage threshold is shot, stabbed, burned, thrown off something, poisoned.
Well,
Anything that's not like temporary that can be shaken off, that's peril. Anything that's
Right.
not is damage.
I just wasn't sure if there was a
No, good question though.
like a correlation between being as bad as I was. Okay.
No, there in some injuries, yes, but in your case, no.
Okay.
You are bad, but that's what makes you not, just
Right.
take the peril damage.
Bad, like in a bad
to the
condition,
bone.
and also bad like Michael Jackson's bad.
Who's that?
Who's
All
bad?
right.
Just
I have taken laudanum, pipistrella.
start crushing some somas and
I should probably have better bandages, but we can wait until.
Someone has some. Is that correct?
I have 1.
Very well. We should do you right now.
Does anyone have honey?
No.
There's some downstairs.
What's honey mean? Or can we use
yeah,
that?
It's not, no.
Can that?
There's beehives with honeycomb though,
Okay.
which means you can get honey out of there.
So if we just want what right, but we're trying to stay up here right now.
We're gonna stay
we're
up
trying
here.
to figure out what's
You
at
have
the
to
top.
boil
Yeah,
the
I'm gonna-
bandages.
When we go back down,
Yes.
let's take care of it.
Yeah,
If
so
we go.
since we're planning on doing that once we go back down, we should go ahead and take care of you now.
Okay, let's do it.
So
I'm gonna allow a bandage change.
Roll your heal test, whatever it is.
it's the difficulty on that.
It is good. You're seriously bleeding, is that right?
Seriously,
Standard.
for cereal. Cereal.
Who?
59%,
Apothecary. The other.
and a 20 will succeed.
Nice. What's your intelligence bonus?
See how
That
normal
is
it is.
5.
Okay, you move 1 step in the damage condition track. Once Pipistrel's intelligence reaches AB reaches 7, she can move you 2 steps up. Yeah, if it's 13 plus, it's 3 steps up. But remember, you always have calcified soma you can
Oh,
take.
I'm going to be using it.
Did you use your bandage or did I use my bandage?
I'm using it for damage.
Yeah, that blessed quality.
Did you give up your bandage or was it mine? Tim?
What's that?
Did you give up your bandage or was it mine?
I'm going to give mine up. It only makes sense for you to have the bandage.
Okay.
The person that can use
Okay.
The person that can use it should have the bandage.
What else you
I'm
all
gonna-
wish to do?
I'm gonna
Love
go
that
ahead
though.
and crush a.
Say the game?
I'm gonna go ahead and crush a soma.
And to do what?
Ooh.
Crush 1 calcified soma in hand to expend it. Move up 1 step on the damage and peril condition track. Gain 9 corruption.
Nice.
So, you find that the soma. Imagine what a preserved or mummified heart may look like, a human's heart, that has turned over the age to salt. But so delicate that it simply crushes in your hand between your fingers as you white knuckle it, and you can feel the essence of this person course through you as you gain 9 corruption. You step up damage and peril condition track. Remember, you can use as many summons as you like to move up the peril condition damage condition track as often as you like. But you need to describe for us the memory that she's experiencing of the person who she just consumed.
Okay. So it crumbles in my hand, and I close my eyes and I get like basically goosebumps, and I'm envisioning a farmer. This is a woman and I'm envisioning her in a field of corn or wheat, some kind of wheat field, with a child, and they are starting the harvest.
Yeah. So the memory is typically traumatic, so continue with that story.
And as they are starting this harvest, from within this field of whatever it is they're starting to harvest, you hear running through this area, and the woman looks up and she hears this and she looks frightened, and as she reaches for her child, something reaches out from inside the corn, grabs the kid by the head and just flips it back and disappears into the corn.
So you can see that at this point that Miss Phyllis shudders as she crushes the soma, and like maybe a little bit wide-eyed.
That was really intense, guys.
Crush it.
It started out really pretty.
Get your credit card out.
And then they're like, go dark with it. And I'm like, okay.
The juxtaposition of that, yeah. That's good stuff.
Yeah, everyone
body
who
work.
has experienced the Red Death and and was not given the sweet embrace of the custodian, who turned to the damned, like as their souls departed, they left behind an essence of some memory, some traumatic experience. That's why you gain 9 corruption. You're literally experiencing that vividly.
Gotcha.
But yeah, you could. But mechanically, you technically just take all of them if you want. Roll a damage condition track, peril condition track if you like. But you get a shit ton of corruption.
Okay. Well, now I'm lightly wounded.
And you don't want to know the disorders that are trying to calcify Zelda.
I still abstain.
That was intense. I wouldn't. Espillicent says, if you've got to, you've got to, but I wouldn't do that if I were you. But I'm now lightly wounded.
Nice. Anything else you all wish to do before proceeding up the stairs?
Yeah.
Load my bow.
Okay, your bow is loaded. It's a loosely knocked arrow.
Keeping my staff in hand.
Is
I just-
there? I just had a question about loading. Is there any, other than like having a hand not free? Is there any like? Do you spend an action point to load before you go into something?
So action points are spent only during combat.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So I can just load it now and just walk around.
You can have it in hand and ready to throw. Absolutely. Yeah, like you could be like, my pistol is locked and loaded and in hand and ready to fire at any time. I got my knife in hand, ready to throw it. Yeah, you can just keep your thing prepared in hand. So at least your first attack doesn't require you to load at the beginning of combat. But remember, if you don't have enough action points to load a weapon, if you have a talent such as Arbalest Speed, you can actually roll a coordination test to quick load for 0 AP. However, within the load option within the quick start, you can still quick load for 0 AP, but you're defenseless until the beginning of your next turn. Which means you can't, when you're defenseless, you can't resist, you can't dodge or parry.
You just have to deal with
You
it.
leave yourself completely open. Completely open.
Basically, like a surprise round against you.
Well, no. I mean, yes and no. During a surprise, people are defenseless.
Right.
But if somebody attacked you while you're defenseless, they don't get any additional bonuses because of that. It just means that you can't resist. So
Right.
it's bad for perilous stunts. It's really fucking bad for spells because you can't resist. Not all spells can be resisted, but when you're defenseless, you can't resist anything.
Right.
So
No takedown.
somebody can take you down, throw you off the edge, and fall 41 yards down below.
Aw.
Oh, 41 plus 1d10 damage. Dude.
The only thing I wanted to do was just take a look over one of the throngs.
Yeah.
As you had or had seen or mentioned these maggots that seem to have been like almost sewing their flesh together.
Yeah,
I
so
wanted to
they're...
figure out what
Yeah,
where they came
these
from.
strange little worms. As you pull out this metal probe and kind of pick it up, it's kind of writhing in the fire. And these little maggots about the size of your thumb, like they're big. And you can see it. What almost looks like, at least from your scientific mind, would be almost like bot flies have embedded themselves beneath between the tendons of the muscle, because they are fleshless things. The throng in there burning crispy hot and smell like burning flesh right now, and like hot meat. dirty hot meat. Regardless, you can see that. I mean, their flesh is gone. It does appear that that between these things kind of fusing together somehow, that these little larval things crawl all over them, but are softly burning and smelling and little.
I wouldn't probably know how to do this, but would I be able to like figure out or determine if these were like creatures that I have seen before previous to this absolutely horrific thing? Like if it's a part of it, or you know what I mean?
There was a faint memory somewhere in your mind of seeing something like this. And if we imagine for a moment, like the scene shifts, and whereas you were beneath torchlight and here it turns to candlelight as you're poring over a book, a hurricane lantern at a table, and there is this kind of glass jar in front of you and this writhing thing moving within it, and you're poking and prodding it as you have this brass apparatus with these kind of lenses that fold over one another, and you can look toward the thing, and it looks like a tardigrade.
Okay.
The best description, but it looks like a little tardigrade.
But it's something that I've kind of been familiar with my considerable studies.
Yeah.
Is there any chance I know if it's something that can heal wounds? Is it because if it seems to be healing the damned kind of by making them come together, I'm wondering if maybe they are something that can heal a wound or clean a wound.
That's a great question. Wanna pick one up, put in a pack?
I do.
Okay.
I actually would like to.
Put Deathworm on your character sheet.
Deathworm? I'm gonna wrap it up in my yellow tabard.
Deathworm.
I'm saving that for later.
This is a special treat.
This is a little snack just for later.
I'm gonna name him Wibbly Gibbet.
Wibbly.
Wibbly.
I love it.
Don't let him climb in your ear while you're sleeping.
Well, I don't have anything else I want to do. That was just, it seems just like the most bizarre symbiosis of all time.
Husky.
That's, yeah.
You're
Like-
seeing those wasps that are
Parasitic wasps.
parasitic wasps that are revived by fungus.
Yes.
That control their central nervous system.
Yes.
It's
like
amazing.
an undead wasp.
It's amazing.
It's a
This is
fungus
legit.
that grows inside them, and then they can literally like amble around.
Reanimates them.
Yeah,
That is awesome.
it's creepy. So watch the videos.
It's pretty creepy, actually.
It's a good call, Listen, I might want to take a look at that later.
Okay. Gotcha.
Are you ready, boss? Are we doing this?
Mm-hmm. Let's go.
Alright.
Into hell head
So,
first.
what hurt the spiders?
Oh, I can tell you this much: it wasn't fists.
You do know that.
Pip, that
Imagine we're gonna
I
stick
would
with
hope not. But
I was hurting pretty bad when we were fighting them, so I don't remember what exactly was what worked on them. Do you remember or recall?
The only thing that I did that
Let's try
was
fire.
of any use was if any of them crossed the line I draw on the ground, and if I could shove them into a wall using the custodian's last breath.
okay, so I don't know what any of that means.
You use the salt, a salt to block
Yes,
them.
you know how they cannot cross the line of salt if I pray to the custodian and she hears me.
So, what kind of thing would not be able to cross
Yeah.
salt? Would it be a variety of things or a specific type of thing?
Hermosty. Hermosty.
I have no idea what that word is, but it's fascinating.
Dead,
Okay. Anything dead, so not necessarily.
walking dead, or the husk, whatever.
That which was stolen from her.
Okay. So
Alright.
nothing necessarily abyssal in nature.
Abyssal? Oh no.
Fair enough.
That's not real.
That's not real.
Of course not. Nope, of course not. All right then.
Look around. Look around.
I'm gonna actually go find Suspiriancy because I have this urge to make sure that she's okay.
Snow aboard a few yards from you.
All right, marching order.
Yep.
Leave it as is.
As is, everyone. Nobody wants to shift.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I like that.
We got
It's good.
Okay.
hitters up
Last
front.
call.
Yeah.
Last call for alcohol.
Remove the damned dam.
I have taken
Damn,
my
Ned.
Damn.
Where's the damn?
Damn,
So
Ned.
you've got your knife
Didn't like
out,
the
you're
damned-
preparing an arrow.
Damned-
Guillaume, what about yourself?
I have my torch and my whip.
Okay.
See, I try to make things funny.
Yep.
Pure Belmont.
It's every time.
Nobody
That's what's in
gets
my
it.
head, and I
Yeah.
love it. Pure Belmont.
Death
all
props.
over.
We're gonna have to talk about a bladed whip at some point.
Oh, please do.
Oh.
How fun
Please
would that
do.
be?
Yeah.
Wait.
Throw
Yeah.
the hood of the hangman back on.
Yeah.
Off we go.
Tie a knife to the end of the whip and
That
improvise
is
weapon.
evil.
I'm into it.
Castlevania,
Guillaume is into
baby.
it. Guillaume is
Down it.
spiritually attracted to that idea.
Flamberger, sorry, your Flamberger to Zweihander. Zweihander's
Yep.
converting. Guillaume, or sorry, Thomas.
Just prepare my flanged mace.
Okay. And the spells.
I've got my staff in hand.
You come to the trap door,
I got whip.
and you kind of ascend upward, and you realize that you kind of saw what Guillaume described. You can see that there's this thick wooden floor. Age has caused it, to rot. You can see that at one point birds roosted among the rafters. I mean, to consider the fact that this bell tower is so tall, the cross timbers in here are as wide and as tall as this table, supporting the whatever's up above. Whatever's up there is heavy and big. And at the foot of the stairs, as they terminate underneath of it, there is this heavy trapdoor that's been closed. Like there's no way up unless you go through the trapdoor, up out of the trapdoor.
Like that kind of trapdoor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I be Joe Morkey? I'm not going through that goddamn door.
Oh, that's 64 hit points. So the question is,
Use your
Forrest,
magic to open that damn
what do
door.
you want to do? Damn it, Carolyn.
Damn it, Caleb, just open the door for me.
What will you do?
Well, I'm gonna do what I always do.
Okay. You
George.
shoulder into it and kind of lift it. It's a big, heavy door. As you come to what you suspect is the literal top of the bell tower. And as you ascend upward, like you can see the dust motes floating in the air. As you ascend into what must be the bell tower top, you can feel
The belfry.
it is literally the belfry. You can feel brisk cold wind coming from somewhere, as you can see these very tall shutters, like the size of barn doors, like fastened shut behind you, and you can see kind of little thin trails of light passing between it. That's where you're seeing the motes of dust. And they're kind of shuddering with the wind outside as you realize you can't see outside because the shutters of the belfry are shut, but this is without a doubt the belfry. There is an all-encompassing darkness in here, and your torch is really fighting to stay lit. And it's not because there is a cold wind or even enough to kind of blow through here, but the darkness is hard to hold back, as the torch is literally guttering in the darkness. You all slowly begin to ascend into this chamber, kind of one by one upon this into the belfry, and there is in this literally in the center of this chamber are these huge cross timbers that rise another good 20 yards up or 15 yards up, and suspended from it. Amid this kind of crisscrossing, it's almost like maze of different ropes and pulleys and such, is this massive, huge, cracked bell. And sitting right below the bell is the tallest man you've ever seen. His cloak is kind of resting all around him, around his waist, onto the floor, and his hands are positioned into his lap, turned upward. these gloved hands with their fingers kind of drawn together, almost like in a meditative pose, and this big broad hat as wide as, well, this circle, resting atop his head. And as he sits, he's as tall as the tallest of you. And as you see this Suspiriancy, this is the lantern bearer who you'd seen in the streets. And he appears to be in some sort of, he or it or whatever it is, seems to be in some sort of repose. And you can hear this kind of like sort of sound somewhere coming up above in the belfry. And you can see the ropes kind of dangle and shake back and forth as something is up there among the crisscross of timbers. And in the far corner, you can see one of the death prophets like leaning down upon one knee and one hand, and his hood is pulled back and he looks just like a Spillicent. As you can see, in its hand is holding a crooked staff, and he appears to be grievously wounded. None of these things make any measure to approach you at all, as you kind of walk in unmolested.
How close are the shutters?
There's a set right behind you.
Can I break through them?
You can open them if you like.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you come toward where the shutters are, and you kind of lay your sword down, and you're half expecting like all these things to come to life and animate and move toward you, but they don't. And as you come to the shutters and you open one of them up, it looks out over the city. Like you can look out across the ruined district where you're at. And there's wind that's kind of passing out there, but the light will not press past the threshold of the shutters. The room does not illuminate from the gloom of the day outside. It does not press past the threshold of the shutters whatsoever. Strangely, it does not cast the additional light in here. It does not illuminate the lantern bearer or even the interior of this place. It's still bathed in darkness.
And as far as we can tell, either they haven't noticed us or they just have not reacted to our presence at all.
Yeah.
As if we're either not a threat. Okay.
I'm going to take my coffee out and I'm going to spit on it and I'm going to rub it on your face, Aspillicent, so that we can tell the difference between the real Aspillicent and
It's on my
the
mask.
other ones. Yeah, on your mask, yeah. So we'll
Yeah.
have like a streak of brown coffee on your mask.
Okay.
The
Way smarter than what I did. I just ran away.
looking across the way as the cloaked figure, and it reaches down into the dust and wipes it on the side of its mask.
Oh man.
It kind of comes to life for a moment with its stick and kind of leans up on it, like supporting its weight in it. And you can see it standing on kind of like pigeon leg, like one leg with the other one kind of like on the inside of it, kind of like this, kind of like a Spillicent stands oftentimes.
I since I'm close to her, I lean in and whisper into her ear.
To Suspiriancy.
To Suspiriancy, and I whisper in your ear, apricot.
And Suspiriancy immediately knows
Yes.
that is our keyword to
And
find.
if you didn't hear that, I said apricot.
Their safe word.
Safe word.
No, it's it's the word you're gonna share with her. She knows, like, to pass some sort of like secret message between
Yeah.
the two of you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. What would kill that thing?
Let's kill it.
All right.
Kill the light bearer or kill the Aspillicent?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Kill the other me.
Because the light bearer, as somebody who has had very close interactions, I don't know if that's something we should try to fuck with, or excuse me.
Oh, you can speak all the Gallian you wish.
Oh, okay.
We call it Deadlandian in my group.
That's right. We speak Ghent.
I don't know if that's
Wu-Tang
something we should go for just yet.
Is this not the point in all of the books that the main villain gives a soliloquy?
Might I remind everyone?
This ain't no book.
Explaining their motives?
This ain't no book. This is real life.
Do we care?
I can't even read.
I'm with these guys.
I don't think we should attack the light bearer right now. We don't know
He's
his
right
power.
there. He's like, it's not moving. We got him dead to rights.
You can hear a strange moaning coming from where it's sitting in
Although
repose.
something ain't right about this place.
Guillaume's gonna-
Aspillicent is holding the staff and puts the staff back and shifts and grabs the Widowmaker.
Yeah. Guillaume is not in any sort of stealthy way, but drawn by his curiosity, really can't help it at this point. It is pulling him in. He is going to grab rolling papers and his little tobacco pouch real fast. And he's going to just roll a very quick cigarette and try and spark it off of his torch. As he gets basically whatever he thinks would be about twice the reach of this big, scary torchbearer. He's going to get about that far away, and then I would like to try and use True Detective to figure out, in particular, why he's not moving, why he's not attacking, why he's in repose, and why it seems that this Death Priest is also in this moment of calm or inaction. And I'm basically just trying to figure out if there's a pattern here, if there's something where there are points where they're active and points where they're not.
So read True Detective stuff back.
Sure. So, when intoxicated or underneath the effects of any poison, tobacco, make a scrutinize test. If successful, you can ask for the GM to give you an important clue from your investigations you may have already thought of or overlooked. This benefit cannot be gained more than once per session.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a challenging scrutinize test.
And as he starts to smoke a cigarette, he pulls out a piece of calcified soma. And he will crush it. To use the third secret. Which I believe will be the right one I need to use. Hold on. I'm pretty sure it's right? Because that was the
Critically intelligence.
scrutinize. No. Nope, I'm not. Nope, never mind. I'm not doing that. Sorry. Scrutinize. Yeah. So you said challenging?
Good thinking.
Could I?
It was not intelligence.
Let's let him do his thing first, then we'll talk about what else is going to happen.
Can I help? Or
Do
can
you
help?
have a skill rank? Well, no, not in this.
Not
case,
on the True
probably.
Detective.
Yeah, because
That
this
makes
is an internal thing. This is
true. You're
this is the reconstructing the crime scene thing,
Right.
like the winding backwards, the assembling of random thoughts, the Sherlock Holmes.
You got this.
All right, so 52.
To give you an idea, by the way, to give you a subtle hint here, the more serious drugs that you imbibe, the more likely your chances are to succeed on True Detective.
Cool. I did roll a 6. So that's sure to succeed. I needed to get under a 52.
Nice. You don't sense any immediate threat coming from any of the things that inhabit this bell tower. The lantern bearer seems to be in some sort of strange reverie. And although you have been following the trail of the Minister of Light and it's led you here, you don't know if there's anything else you could possibly intuit without actually talking with them.
That's what I was afraid of.
You guys, are you wanting to fight? Or are you wanting to leave it be? Because I have a feeling what we're hearing above us are the grave spiders.
There,
We have-
before Before we fight this thing, I'm gonna approach it
And talk.
and take the hat.
Oh,
You want to reach for the hat?
Yeah.
the disrespect.
As you begin to approach, the closer you get, the darker it becomes until you're within just almost arm's reach and it's completely pitch black. You still want to reach for the hat?
No.
Like you see him grow closer to the lamplighter and he begins to slowly disappear before your eyes.
And he's not holding a lamp at this point, right?
No.
No, just in repose.
I'm gonna back away.
Yeah, there you kind of step back and he almost like he's slinking back, like Thomas is coming back from the shadows. Despite the fact your torchlight reaches there, Thomas almost disappears from sight, like he's at the furthest distance of your torchlight, even though he's no more than a stone's throw away.
Who has the ranged weapon? You?
I have a bow.
I have throwing knives. I could go behind.
I wonder if we should arrange some kind of fighting formation
Like surround him.
surrounding him.
I think we're overthinking this. Look what's above his head. We take out this bell, crush him, be done with this.
We'll take the whole floor out, though.
So?
That makes us too.
Could
The
we?
stairs are around the edge, though.
Could someone? I can crawl. I can essentially crawl up there, and somehow figure out. I would. I think I should crawl up there to see if the darkness takes over like it took over with you. If I were to go up and get close to it, if it gets that dark.
Okay.
Can we not see how the bell's like fastened?
No, I mean, if you got up in there, you could, but there's so many crisscrossing beams. It's not like here's a rope, here's a bell. It's a very complex device that holds up a bell that probably weighs 2 tons plus that would bring across the city. It's a massive bell, like it's huge. They call it, I don't know, 5-foot diameter.
I'm gonna climb the wall.
You want to climb a sheer surface?
Can't I?
Can you? You want to climb? So I'm being clear here narratively. You want to climb up the wall, a sheer surface,
There's gotta be some crags.
or do you want to come closer to where the crisscrossing beams are toward the bell, where the lantern bearer is, and climb up?
I guess I'm envisioning it differently than you. Yes,
Yeah.
I would like to find an area in which I could come up into it and see if approaching where the bell is attached, if it gets darker or does not get darker.
Do you want to expose yourself to the lantern bearer while you do that, or you try to slink in the shadows and do it?
Shadows.
Okay. Roll a hard stealth test. Kind of right in the torchlight.
I feel like I'm about to kick some
Fuck.
shit off. But I wanna-
27.
It's a fail forward test. So
27.
failure does not result in fail unless you crit fail.
I got 8. No wait, I got 80. Wait. I'm using my percentile dice because I'm trying to learn it. I got 80 and a 0.
So
That's 80.
it's 80.
80.
I would urge you to use 2d10.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to.
So 80. Oh, I don't know what that means. Is that a success?
That
Is
is
it
not a
failure?
success. It was 27 to 16.
Okay.
So it's
So
very much a failure.
as you begin to slink away, you can feel like the sense of dread kind of wash over you, even though you are technically in the shadows. Let me reroll this. You will gain 5. You will gain 12 mental peril.
Okay.
You'll suffer 12 mental peril. You can feel like the stress begin to build.
Okay. I am imperiled.
Yeah. You want to try climbing up? You want to provide a distraction?
That's actually what I was about to do. So still standing where I was, I am going to call out to the lantern bearer. Hey, we need to talk.
As this is happening, you see a spillicent kind of slip away and start to climb up somewhere here in the belfry to find the way upward. Go ahead and roll a routine athletics test. This is not fail forward.
Okay.
If you fail it, we'll see how far you climb up and how far you fall down.
51. Can I use one of your D10s? My baby one is my first number. 89.
Oh.
I'm gonna reroll.
Yep.
Okay. I'll take that misfortune point. Let's give that bad boy to me.
41.
So success?
Succeed.
Okay. As Spillicent kind of disappears among the shadows above, as you're she's making her way up into the belfry. You just hear her disappear into the shadows, lost from sight. So you approach and you say,
We need to talk.
We need to talk. There is a moment where you kind of half expect the whole place to explode and swords and flames and thrashing limbs and teeth and death. And that does not happen. As the figure kind of raises its head and the hat kind of lifts, you can see nothing but just a shadow with two tiny pinpricks of light beneath the hat. But as the lamplighter starts to stand, it is clearly a he. You recognize him, Thomas. In the chateau, in Bastion, in Chateau Moreau, when you had first arrived, when you'd taken it from the damned, above the fireplace was a family. The family of the former inhabitants of the chateau. And the clothing seems to resemble that of Lord Darius Moreau. And it's not to say this man was as tall in life, but whatever has happened to him now, he stands with a very kind of noble bearing beneath this huge mantle with this high collar on either side. And he stands at least 10 feet tall. He towers over you. His hat reaches nowhere toward the bell, but the ropes all dangle around him, and you feel that his hands are achingly, almost dangerously close to the ropes. And you imagine like the size of the ropes it would take to ring a bell this size. His hands could easily wrap around them twice over. Lying beneath of his mantle, where he stood up, is this storm lantern. It looks like it was taken off the front of a coach that you would have found in the city. In fact, there's a coach in Bastion with a missing storm lantern, and you can see that it is in fact here. And around his neck, he seems to wear this long dangling kind of bit of rope, and there's a human-sized, a tiny-sized cameo that resembles the woman that was his lady wife, whose grave was discovered to be the smuggling operation between here and the bell tower in the chapel. He turns toward you, like imagine like it's not quite like Orko from He-Man, but there is an absence of a face, and the pinpricks of light kind of blink and look toward you, and he curiously says, "Why have you come here?" And his voice is faint, like he has the voice of a man. It does not befit the size and broadness of the shoulders and the great girth that he stands before you, towering over you. Like if you were to compare height, it would be as if you were standing and he was standing.
Right.
He's like several heads taller. Yeah. But you're kind of at an angle, right?
Yeah.
You're kind of at an angle, so it's not like he's like,
So he asked me that question.
yeah. So he says, "What?"
We've come to investigate this tower. It seems it's a beacon of false hope.
He slowly nods his head and he says, "That is true. Several have come before the bell tower to pay tribute to the Minister of Light."
Lord Moreau, I presume?
It is a name that I was once called.
What brings you around these parts these days?
We are living in the desiccated shell of what was once our great city.
You don't seem to have the typical bearing of a man, at least such as myself.
His eyes, little tiny pinprick eyes, kind of narrow and blink for a moment. I don't understand what you're talking about.
Look at yourself, man. You're uncannily large. No face. A hat that... I don't know what else, what other kind of head could fill.
Once the saint's blood was spilled, all changed in Galleon.
How do you know the Ivory Lady? And what exactly were you all transporting from your home?
At one time, when I had come to Galleon, I was her squire. But I soon surpassed her in my training. She too was a Mercadian knight.
Can a Spillicent hear this conversation?
Oh yeah, you're kind of like overhead.
Okay.
You're like dun 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 dun, dun in the spider web of timber and such, and you can see all these ropes kind of winding up around these massive pulleys and spanning between these heavy sacks of sand that keep it all suspended. So imagine like the rigging behind a theater, like it's all very much there.
Yeah.
All right, so what was he saying?
What's that?
Right.
Child.
Yeah, check that.
We all heard that. All dry too.
All right, so he was
Everything changed when the martyr's blood was spilled.
So he was a squire for the Ivory Lady, and then he surpassed her
In ability.
in ability.
What makes you keep ringing the bell?
There is hope that if we can bring more to the bell tower, that the Minister of Light will be pleased with our worship, I suppose you could say.
To what end?
So all that fucked up torture shit below, that was you?
No, he says, that
Was
was
it
the
one of those pieces of shit over there? I'll
He
point to the
shakes his
priest.
head once again. No,
Well, we killed the other three of them. I'm coming for you next too, though, buddy.
it was an act of penitence.
Sure, you can call it whatever you want. I threw them off a ledge and they died.
For the struggle for the murdering of the saint.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
For the murdering of the saint. This was all an act of penitence?
To beseech the Minister of Light for his blessing.
And again, I'll ask this. And, what is that blessing?
The sweet release from this place we all are condemned to.
So you just can't kill yourself.
He was already dead.
Aren't we all?
No.
No.
No, we're living.
Oh, I don't know if we should give him that info.
You're the dead one.
The Red Death changed many things. Some passed on. Some were released to the custodian. Others remained behind.
When he says the word the custodian, she reaches up and adjusts her wimple, like just something that can't bothers her too much.
The lucky ones passed on from this. He pauses before he says it. World. But we are in purgatory.
And so you were looking for release. In what way?
There is a mist that does not part for any of us. I'm sure you have seen it.
Like a literal mist, not a metaphorical one.
A literal mist. one that eats at the very edge of our light, a darkness that cannot be abated. The place where reality and what this is conflicts. The place between the weave.
We give you sweet release.
I look directly at you.
Dear sir, if only it were that easy for any of us.
I'm not a sir.
Perhaps not in this life.
Nor in the one before.
Are you saying that we're in purgatory with you?
I don't know how to answer that question.
Well, you're saying physically we're here, and so physically we're here next to you, and you're saying that you're in purgatory.
Condemned in this sort of way, yes.
Are you saying that we're condemned to purgatory too?
I cannot speak of your fate, but you could beseech Lucius Lightbringer, perhaps he would tell you.
I'm
We
gonna.
had sought the same answers.
Does that name ring any bells from whenever we were studying the Undercroft?
Not the Undercroft, no.
Would you be willing to succumb to the embrace of the custodian? We have one amongst us who can assist you.
There is no release here. The gods are dead.
What were you when you were Moreau? What were you transporting with the Minister of Light, the Ivory Lady, and the Undercroft?
My sin.
Which is?
So he says, not in this life. I prefer not to talk about it.
There's a kind of a memory that flashes for Guillaume whenever he says that. He just remembers rain and looking at someone wearing the same hood that he now wears. It's just a flash, and he's just kind of back. And there's a guilt, there's a shame that like hits him real hard, and I understand that.
You hear this sound above you, this Millicent, as you get your
Okay.
something crawling above in the shadow.
Did it get darker?
Where you're at? No, you can see the light all down below.
I could see everything, so it wasn't the same kind of approaching something, getting
No.
dark like it was with the guy. Okay.
And you notice the lamplighter is positioned perfectly beneath the bell.
Mm-hmm. I look down at Thomas
They can't see you.
and Clovis. Okay.
You can't see them either, in fact. All you can hear is what they're talking about, and you can see the lamplighter below.
I would like to spend a fortune point.
To do what?
To get my Pisari's Wren, and I'm going to whisper into it.
Just to fit into a tweet.
Yes.
240 characters.
280
Turn 80 characters.
Funny.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was.
Pull out your phone and fit it in a tweet, and then get back to me. I'm serious.
I would like to
Go.
say,
Go or no go.
Unless it's
is it a go?
okay.
Let me know.
So a little mechanical bird flies down and lands
Right on the shoulder.
on his shoulder. Little mechanical twisting of gears and such is on your shoulder.
It just and it says, if it's a go, let me know.
Okay.
Where can we find
If
this
you're
solution?
if you're in purgatory, I'm sure you've tried to leave. Have you tried to take a step out?
I have tried to pass beyond the boundaries of the city, but every time I approach the mist, I end back here.
So why are you using us to torture people?
I'm not using husk to torture anyone.
You were chasing her.
To be fair, I was trying to lead her to the light.
the husks that were trying to kill her.
They are not mine to control.
Well,
I'm sure you've seen them. They are mindless. They amble about in a dark reverie, trying to reassemble whatever life they may have had that they had lost. No memory. They are literally mindless. They exist around us. Some of us have learned to traffic between them without alerting them.
That's because you're one of them.
Oh. My soul is very much still here. It has not, I have not yet left this damned place.
So what's going on in your face then, buddy? Because we've asked that a couple times. He's asked that. She's asked that. Because
The stains of my sin I wear on my flesh. It is what I have been. It is a grim reminder of what these hands have wrought.
I won't ask the details on your sin, but could I ask this? If your sin had anything to do with the Red Death itself?
The Mercadian Knights in the city of Ghent would be able to answer for that, but are we not all in some part responsible for what happened?
No. Yeah.
I once wore the escutcheon of the Mercadian Knights, yes. But it would be as if you were responsible for the shambling of the earth to cause an avalanche over the mountain. You would be powerless to stop it.
I think the issue here is we are amongst the living, and we champion their cause.
What cause is that?
Survival. We want to take this land back.
What does survival mean to you?
Not only is that, but should they no longer survive, they do go into the Well of Souls to be with the custodian.
And the places in between, like we are?
again.
We should find a way that you can.
Because it sure sounds like you're Lucius Lightbringer or whatever the hell his name is. He's got nothing. He's not helping you.
He is the only god that remains.
There's no gods. No Lucius isn't one either.
We come up against conflict because you're causing problems here. You're creating this false hope that's drawing unknowing travelers to this place, putting them in grave danger for all the husks below.
The choice that we make is our own. You heeded the call for your own reasons.
You come to see if there was living.
As I imagine most.
You
do.
found Brother Walder, he says.
Yep.
What did Brother Walder tell you?
You were bad, evil. We should burn down this place.
He truly said that.
I mean, cutting through the bullshit.
Yes, he spoke in riddles, saying that he was already dead. When what we were asking was something different.
Forgive me.
You said you tortured him. I mean, those are exact words.
You know when you take a pat of bread, and he holds his hands out as he relinquishes the ropes, and you have a pat of cold butter on a warm toast, and you try to spread it. This is what memory is like here. The reasons that we do things are lost to us. I have struggled with this, as did Brother Walder. When one cannot find the answers, we struggle in the morass of unknowing.
So you chained him to a wall?
He pauses. The supplicants came on their own accord and did as they were instructed in their reverie with the Minister of Light.
So what you're saying is that?
So they hung themselves, chained themselves.
They labored to ensure that the temple would be prepared. What I don't think that they were prepared for was a way to navigate through the throngs of the damned. They had not yet learned the secrets that we knew.
And what are those secrets, if you don't mind me asking?
There are ways to pass unmolested in this world by the damned, by the husks in particular. Secrets we have been given by trial and error in the latter days of the Dread Death. This secret is still with me, but there are many more. I know that much.
How did you get to be like this? If your soul is here, we are seeing sins upon your face. How are you? No, 10 feet tall.
How are you still here?
The Ivory Lady saved me. Me and a group of others.
They give us just enough rope to hang ourselves with. That is what it means to be damned. I do not mean to confuse, but
You just talk in circles. You never answer any questions, so I don't know how you can't say you don't mean to confuse.
you seek direct answers, but I kind of give them to you.
Simple answers. How do you move between the husk?
I can show you the way. What do you intend to do with the secrets? If it is to live, then live. But know this, the bell tower will continue to stand. I, as its bell house keeper. Not a job that I particularly enjoy, but it is the lot I have been given for these great sins I have committed.
Where does Lucius Lightbringer normally reside?
The Minister of Light,
However you want to call him.
well beyond the city. I know that much. But I do not know how to pass beyond its gates. I have tried. And I end up back where I started.
And there's no way for you to contact him. You simply do this in hopes.
We all pray to the gods at some point when we were in Mahoma. We all prayed for answers, but the Minister of Light gives few.
What was the word, Mahoma?
That's the world.
Oh, sorry. Gotcha. Cool.
Well, that doesn't make any sense because we could leave. We've been many places.
Well, perhaps you're...
Alive. Yeah, that's what we keep trying to tell you.
Well, perhaps whatever curse has been laid upon you is different than mine.
I'm not cursed. The only thing's cursing me is you and these goddamn husks.
Tell me of your children.
I
Tell
didn't
me
have
of your
children.
childhood.
I don't remember that.
I remember what I had seen in a place that I once called home. That is the only memory I have before all of this. I remember the days of the Red Death, but before that, pictures, fleeting memories, a spark here and there, a moment of deja vu, waking dreams.
All you had to do was go back to your house. I mean, hell, you could have seen all the pictures.
Oh, I have seen them, but it was not a place that... there's a part of my life that I know that I had to leave behind. That's why I've been here.
To pay for your great sins.
I truly wish I had answers for you. I have contemplated this for many moons. I know that your encampment came to the city. I saw you. I saw your wagon train approach. I was curious, admittedly. And I suppose I got a little bit too close. And that's when your friend, he nods at Suspiriancy, was unfortunately in my way of trying to fend off the husks from killing her, or consuming her at least. I think we mistake each other's intentions.
We do.
I am merely a keeper of the belfry, and I, like everyone else, am chained to this world. I cannot stop the sun from rising and setting. I cannot beg the Minister of Light to relinquish me from my curse.
Can you stop ringing the bell?
Well, that is... no. In the same sense that you cannot continue your own quest.
What's stopping us? What's stopping you?
Stopping me from...
Ringing the bell. What's stopping you from stopping ringing the bell?
I remember the taste of food on my tongue and the sweet embrace of my wife. The things that we knew were just inherent to who we were. I suppose in some sense that the bell is as part of me as perhaps once my love was for my wife, or things that are the reasons why I rested, because it is simply a part of who I am.
You were given this duty, this need, this compulsion by the Minister of Light.
Given as a
Curse.
Yeah, he kind of pauses for a moment and says, and I'm thinking, given would be a polite word, I suppose. Condemned.
So what are those?
Yeah.
What are those things for? I'll point to the Black Priest.
Ah,
Those devils attacked us.
yes, they are these shades of the living. The motions toward them. They, like rats and cockroaches, can be found in all corners of the city. The shades are, as much as I am, they are cursed as well. In fact, a few things I have learned, at least, about the shades is that I know that the Red Death was more than just a virulent plague. It also cursed those whose lasciviousness appetites brought agony and shame to others. In the wake of the disease, their flesh was turned to shadow stuff. Cursed as they were, then able to feel warmth or pleasure. But their yearning for the flesh and carnality still exists. And should they consume the hearts of the living, as I have seen them do, they can experience the last intimate moments of a person. But it's very evident that those moments are fleeting, for the shade continues to seek out those like you.
Why does this one not attack?
Oh,
Besides the smash growing noise.
I strongly suspect because it has been grievously wounded. The thing is on its last leg, quite literally.
What about the spider? Are those yours too?
I wouldn't say mine, but I can tell you of the many graves across the city where Gintish knights were buried. I am not a priest, but when the covenant was splintered, the solemn duty of the Mercadians ended, and they began to emerge from the pit. And these abominations of the remnants of the knights, perhaps once tall and shining in their great brass armor, leaders, people we respected, governors, lords, ladies, barons, people to look up to. And after the death of the saint, when they were buried, they too were cursed. And now they take such horrendous shape as we see now. They too are like vermin, but like spiders in every house, they tend to keep the insects away. In this case, the living.
So
Think of
Lord,
them as housekeepers of a sort.
so Lord Murrow, what keeps you from falling into despondency after all this time? Why do you keep ringing the bell? I know you've been cursed, but what stops you from bringing this tower down around your ears and ending it all?
I suppose that I am hopeful that all this suffering will end. That at some point, this grim task I have been assigned will have some meaning, despite its grisly ways. I want to believe there is release. I want to believe the custodian will grant this. I want to believe the gods still live, but there are no gods in Galileo. There is only this and the Minister of Light.
The agents of the custodian stand before you. We're here to release you. Will you stand in our way?
Well, I suppose that depends on what you're intending to do. If it is to bring down the bell tower, I am afraid that I am not only its keeper, but also its cleaner. And I cannot permit that the bell tower be molested.
Then are you asking us to trust you and just leave?
Frankly, I wasn't expecting you to come here. And it's not like the living come and knock on my door in this strange place.
You want this all to end, but you continue to ring the bell. You continue to make the problem worse.
Well,
I'm just confused about what are we to do. We want to make it good. We want to make everything right as well. It seems like we're on the same page, but I feel like this tower needs to come down.
And then what? Who else will you bring to the end of your blades and your torch in your quest to find answers? How is my task any different than yours? What relief are you giving?
You're bringing the living here to be tortured.
Oh, trust me. The people who come here are not alive. They are cursed like I am. Everyone bears a curse in Galileo.
But what about brother, the one that you have chained up? He was alive.
He was betwixt what he once was and what was to become. That's the way I understood it, at least. He was a unusual man.
That's a lot of fancy words for nothing. Do you want us to release you or not? That's it. I mean, that's if not, let's get the hell out of here.
We've been doing this for however long years, searching for some sense of redemption or atonement. What if we could offer you a different kind of atonement?
What do you mean?
Come back to Bastion. Help the survivors. Work to actually get your sins forgiven. Not to commit more. On a hope of a false god.
Would be a strange outcome.
Indeed, and it might actually help a lot of folk.
I suppose I would have to ponder that.
Very well.
My father told me one time, why is it that we always have to attribute everything bad and everything good to the gods? We're just men and we're doing it all.
It's true, the gods are fickle.
There are no gods.
There is a god. At least one.
The only thing that me and this creature agree on is there's no gods left. The only thing I don't agree with him on is I'm here to fight for the living. And I'm here to kill things like him.
How do you explain what I am capable of doing? It's not through myself.
Magic? Isn't that a fancy word for what you people do? You magicians, wizards, sorcerers? That's what you do, right?
That's what some people would call it.
Well, that's what I'm calling it. I mean, when you play poker, you call a spade, and magic's magic.
Yes, and a god is a god.
Pip, we're never agreeing on this. You're never going to turn me.
Oh, I am not wishing to turn you. I just cannot deny the existence of one who is real.
I'm wholeheartedly glad you still believe. What's your answer, though, Bing?
For 200 years, before the death of the martyr, as far as I can remember from stories from my own family, we had always questioned our place in this universe. Were we not gifted free will? Why must the gods determine our outcome? As a Mercadian knight, I pay no heed to the gods. My make in life was that of sanguinity and war. And with the death of the martyr, my perspective changed. At that point, the gods that were there were gone, and then their absence was the minister of light. What his intentions are, good or for ill, I don't think the gods have any good or bad intentions. The gods before may have been fickle, but the minister of light is purposeful.
What is that purpose?
We who are here are condemned to our own fate, have no free will. There is no escape from this place. This is my home now. All of this city. I will never know beyond its boundaries. You do. You clearly passed within the city freely. You have been given a gift greater than whatever this foul form I have been turned to. But perhaps that is what the gods had intended all along, for me to wear my shame, to look as this figure of malcontent and disfigurement.
Or perhaps it was their intention that you would be a massive figure that other people could follow, who would know the secrets of moving in between the hordes. I mean, you can perfectly navigate this city, and we are looking for survivors. I fail to see how we are not mutually going to benefit from this.
Oh.
Or is not at least aligned within our goals.
He begins to nod for a moment.
And it does not have to preclude you from ringing the bell.
So what do you suggest with the tower then? If we were to follow this line of thinking.
Simply saying that you are fulfilling your duty to Lucius Lightbringer, yet you are actually acting in the benefit and of your own mind and heart as well as our own. Helping out people who need help.
You could use your knowledge of passing through the husk to help us pass through the city, collect the survivors within it, and we'll be on our way.
You still keep your duty? And granted, if we could release you from your curse and you kept that kind of work going for us, we would try and find a way, but that would be atonement, both for your sins after the Red Death and before, whatever those might be. True atonement. Not to a random god, but to others who are suffering.
I am not ambivalent to this suggestion, but if a choice is to be made, I would hope that whatever comes after, that we would be united as one, that our light would join together.
And by that, you mean what exactly?
Whatever fate is to befall me for turning against the Lightbringer, that our fates would be sealed together. We would be responsible for one another.
I thought the Lightbringer only wanted you to ring the bell.
What I'm hearing you say is that the bell could be rung but to draw the others here, the living, and not the damned. The bell has a different pitch. There are different rhythms.
We just wanted your secret to be able to walk through the husk, move through the husk, so we could find who's living in this place.
Oh, I wanted much more than that. I wanted you to go find the living as well.
If we can bind our fates together, I can teach you this secret.
Guillaume just looks at the rest of the group at this point.
I am up above you.
Oh yeah. Except for you. I in no way make any sort of tell that you were up there.
I would require one test, and then I can be completely in agreement with this. I made a terrible mistake down below.
I agree with
And
that.
that was assuming what someone was without testing it. And if you'd be willing to walk across the line of salt, then I can trust you.
Draw your line.
And it will be the custodian's will if you are stolen from her, it would harm you. You must know. I would hate to trick you into this.
He nods.
And so
I would willingly do so.
yeah, she draws a line in the sand and she attempts to cast Beyond the Pale.
Okay. So what's the effects of Beyond the Pale?
It says after successfully casting this spell, you draw a 3-yard line upon the ground. Unless they successfully resist with a resolve test, no creature classified as being supernatural can cross it. And even if they do cross it, they would suffer 1d10 plus willpower bonus and damage.
Okay. So you draw your line, you cast your spell. Garn a roll for this.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's just gonna fucking he will attempt to resist. Supernatural creatures, you said?
Yes, supernatural.
Well, he passes over the line, and then what happens?
If he is supernatural, it will be 1d10 plus willpower bonus and damage.
Roll.
Okay. So it's 16.
Okay. He passes over the line of salt, and he kind of, as he presses through it, and he falls down upon one knee, thud. You can feel the weight of him kind of, as he kind of settles down. And what manner of sorcery is this? Pray tell.
This is a miracle of a god.
He's lightly wounded, by the way.
Yeah.
Now, did he pass your test, Pip?
Well,
we just hurt the man and he's willing to still talk to us, so,
how do I know whether or not you were stolen from the custodian or not?
That's a question you should ask your god. He stands up, kind of picking himself up. He is now no longer beneath the bell.
Would you allow me to?
You have a feeling that I'm going with my.
Would you allow me to see if you have a heartbeat?
Oh, I don't think you want to touch me.
when it comes down to this, I suppose then, is he bad because he's supernatural, or is he someone with his own mind who is trying to make a choice?
So the classification of supernatural, we don't no, and there are different kinds of supernatural. Like this is above board talk,
Yeah.
not in
Yeah,
character. And so,
Well, I would know like the basic function of passing through a line of salt,
Right,
Would
right.
be something
Yeah,
that would be
super-
paranormal.
yeah, that would be a
Yes.
superstition. and so like the question is whether or not he is undead or if he is a
'Cause
fae.
that's the hard.
Yeah, because
hard line for
if he's like a fae or some other creature, then that's not really the custodian's concern. But if he is undead, then like I am supposed
That's
to.
not there. Yeah, that's not.
I am supposed to kill him.
Gotcha. To your best recollection, or formerly Moreau, did you ever die? You remember dying?
It came close. Was spitted on a Covenant spear. Monk was understandably, when the Covenant splintered, they were very aggrieved at the Mercadian Knights.
I'm just saying, Pep. He's doing a hell of a job of lying. If that's all he's doing right now.
Brought the monk low. Make no mistake.
Actually, can I figure out if he's telling the truth or not?
Sure. Gonna roll a scrutinize test. This test is going to be standard.
Standard scrutinize is going to be cool. 62. 20.
He doesn't. He appears to be evasive, but not because he's intending to fool anyone, but because he is guarded. I think at this point we have probably expended all of the talk
We clicked all the options.
We clicked all the options on that thing.
Dialogue wheel.
The
So,
dialogue wheel is over.
so I would like for us to think between. Well, so we would play 2 weeks from now,
Okay.
but I think we should just put it directly to a vote on what to do with this. And maybe it's a short discussion, but I think we should put it to a vote. And that could come from using the scales that Toma has. So we'll do that next game session.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dope.
I think it's probably smart just to kind of like stop here at this because there is, once again,
It's been a long time since I've also read the commandments
yeah.
of the custodian, and I'd like to read that again because it may help me
Girl.
decide that.
So, corruption roll for tonight.
All right.
I'll roll a 5.
Still in peril. Don't change that.
Did you all unlock something last game session?
Nope.
Be sure to unlock something last game session for last and this game session.
Oh,
So I am out of things to unlock for my investigator. That was my FB, my fellowship bonus.
Looks like we may be
Okay, so
moving to
corruption
intermediate
was
tier
5,
next
and
game.
Ah,
Pretty good
yeah.
corruption.
Now I'm gonna
One.
die real fast.
is
Efficiency.
everybody done? I might have been behind 2-3.
You missed
Well,
a
I'm
session
behind
too,
because I was
right?
buying spells, so that's always slowing me down.
Yeah, I would say,
Oh,
Adam,
that's
just
true.
kind of quickly above board. I would say just unlock the spells as you go along, just without spending more points.
Okay.
That's kind of been like a bugaboo in the back of my head about people who use magic are like lagging behind. I don't care what the balance thing is. Really, just about like expenditure of reward points. So, I mean, honestly, the way we should be doing this is not tracking reward points at all. We're just going to unlock something every single game session,
Okay.
like something new on your character sheet.
Yeah, you're right. I
So
did
we
miss one.
that should
That's it.
that literally puts us at intermediate tier. So next game session we actually get to look at a brand new profession.
So we'll just
Let's go.
so we'll equalize the
at some point.
unlocks
Yeah.
for everyone.
And
Okay.
Yeah.
Shit.
Okay.
So
there's your
let's-
answer, Tim.
Yeah, so
Unlock
let's,
everything.
let's talk
Okay.
briefly about like tonight's session.
Yeah.
This was a kind of a big arc for me at least, and a little bit with the story too. I wasn't sure what you're gonna do when you walk in here. I honestly thought somebody would cut the bells and like.
I almost did.
I
I'm not
was
gonna
very
lie.
close to it.
I'm not gonna lie. I almost did it.
Yeah.
Very close
so
to getting
But I
it.
liked where I
let's
liked.
talk about. We'll start with the Spillicent, like about her read on what's happened this evening.
The warrior in me was ready to act. Like I was very ready to act. But there was something resonating with the way my team was questioning that made me hesitant. And so even I was thinking about it and was just gonna go for it, something was stopping me because something in my gut was just telling me, give it a minute.
What about for tomorrow?
So Tomas' drawback is sanguine temperament. He's gonna be very impatient. So this entire time he was like, his temper was just a frayed rope, just waiting for an excuse to drop this bell on this thing's head.
That's a good analogy.
But his order alignment's curiosity, so he wanted to hear about everything he had to say. So he wanted to exhaust the dialogue with him.
That is a complete mental struggle, right?
Dude, that is a push and pull.
So, and also, he's thinking about how we kind of made this rash decision with Brother Walden, not an hour before, and he was hesitant to kind of be rash in this. So it was kind of a push and pull, and like saying, if we could get this Lord Moreau to admit that what he was doing made no logical sense, and we could usher him on to the beyond, if possible. I wanted to kind of get him to agree to let us kill him.
Yeah.
But honestly, it really makes no sense trying to convince someone to do that. But it just seemed like his logic was kind of somewhat circular and like nonsensical. So possibly a product of just how long he's been doing what he's doing.
Perhaps, yeah. Maybe so.
That's about it for me, though.
Let's move next to Clovis.
Burn it all down.
I love Clovis.
I was kind of on the page.
I was watching both of you.
Doesn't matter what happens here when we get to the bottom of this thing. If no one's helped me, I'm gonna break up every pew possible. I'm gonna burn this goddamn place down. I don't need anybody else's help. I won't even ask for it. But I'm burning this thing down. I'm burning him down.
I was going to help
this
you,
shit down.
for what it's worth.
What's I'm sorry?
I was going to help Clovis in his. And I was fully planning on. If there was no one up here, I was planning on, tearing down the bell and burning the place. But this changes everything, obviously.
Changes nothing for me.
Well,
Black and white.
I wouldn't say everything. I'm still not convinced that I don't want to burn this place down.
So this is the beauty of the scales, is that this is the majority rule,
Right. Yeah.
because they, the characters, and by and large us, we agree above board that our characters will adhere to the rule of the collective.
Yeah.
So we can literally put it to the scales.
Turns out collaborative storytelling takes collaboration.
It also turns out we will have real scales in 2 weeks. And we can literally drop the coins into the scales.
That's gonna be fun.
Yeah. We'll paint that bad boy black. I can't wait. Can't wait. Gotta name
Grim
it
and dark,
right.
baby.
That's right. Well, for a Guillaume.
It was a good day for Guillaume. Now we finally started getting some answers. Not all of them, not all the ones that he wanted, but things are starting to at least come into focus, come to the actual clear, some clarity for him mentally.
Yeah.
In regards to the former Moreau, I don't know. That's one of those and I don't play him very well that way, but he has an incredible mental toughness to him.
And so I did want to just approach and try and talk and see what the deal was. And so no, I think he's very much. I think kind of with Tomas' logic is like this sense of desperation of going from one god to the next god as this divining rod of what is good, what is right, and what I must do. And instead wanted very much like he's just starting to. It's funny we were talking about that kind of as developing character as you go.
Yeah.
And that is very much the thing that is like sticking in Guillaume's like crawl right now is this concept of like people in power harming those that seek their protection or guidance. And it just seems to be a series and a system of this on top of this on top of this on top of this. And like, he's getting real tired of that. And so now, yeah, he's dead set on trying to convince this guy, yeah, you're a big scary dude. Do you know how to maneuver? Why not, man? Screw this god. Go, like, the gods are dead. We're not. Help us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, that's so no. Guillaume's stoked. He is finally getting some answers and finally found a connection between the Ivory Lady and the rest of whatever this is. That's his driving goal right now is figure out what she actually was.
So Sarah had to step away a little earlier, but our final last is over Pipistrella.
She is really confused. Pipistrella, like, she was convinced that she had to end the life of
Brother Walder.
Brother Waldor, yeah, because she was convinced that he was her Mosti, or at least an affront to the custodian. And like here she is with this, line that she drew in the sand, and it hurt him. And so she's never come across something supernatural that was, reasonable.
Yeah.
And
literally
so,
everything else has been mindless.
Yeah, and so she's like caught like between, what is her duty versus what is dogma versus, like it hasn't been revealed yet, but there's reasons why she would question all of this.
Yeah.
And why she, may be more open-minded than a lot of other people who would follow the custodian. That, and she made a huge mistake only moments prior.
This is kind of the interesting thing, I think, is that we oftentimes get the opportunity for people to kind of like to think about the philosophy behind the worship of the god that they follow, right? That's just kind of like, I get these powers, and that's what happens, and I'm gonna infuse all these tenets and commandments and things that what the god thinks, and then when confronted with something that questions your faith, not only just narratively but mechanically, like that's makes for good story stuff. Right, yeah, in what
that grade,
what we can't reveal right away because then it takes away from that choice is, is this guy a fae? Right. Is this guy something like that? Because then like I wouldn't be breaking the mechanics of the tenets I'm supposed to follow. But that's all above board stuff. Right. That's not role playing at all. Right. That's so it's it's interesting both mechanically and story wise as to what Pipistrella needs to do.
It's funny because I think Tomas like on a number of occasions has looked at Pipistrella for spiritual guidance, and he doesn't always get the concrete answer that he thinks he will because he has this concept of what the custodians teachings and her tenets are, and he thinks that Pipistrella is just gonna like blindly follow them, and she'll know all the answers, but it's not that easy.
There's good reasons for why that is,
and that's what makes the character so interesting. Both characters, I think.
Yeah, and there's lots of hints and dropping, but they're not always so.
Well, the great thing is that so next time we play, which will be session 11, we will actually start the session. We'll probably record us figuring out our new professions, and we'll want to do that based on kind of what's happened in the story. Like, let's make some narrative decisions, and anything and everything's on the table. So, basic or regular professions and elite professions.
I'm pretty sure you know what I'm going to go after.
I don't, and I haven't. I mean, I suspect, but I mean, let's talk about it when we get together next time. So we'll build characters, and then we'll pick right up with the scales, the scales, and figure out the decision it is. So
Cool.
Yeah,
fun game tonight.
You know, intermediate tier. It's a big deal.
Lots of combat. Lots of talking.
Yeah, you notice how quick combat moves?
Yeah.
Fast. Once you figure out the creature's tricky secrets, but damn, I'm telling you, the throng and the damp is they get. You weren't here for that too, but I literally dropped 6 misfortune points.
It didn't stop.
It was nasty.
So
Just kept going.
question about the throng and their reach with.
We'll talk about that.
Oh.
In a few minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Next time. See you all there.
Bye bye.
Good night. Be sure to follow Grim Perilous Studios on Patreon.
Do it.
Which Adam's about to talk about in just a few moments.
Not me, but me.
Goodbye.
Hey there, viewers. If you like what you're seeing, take the next step. Head on over to our Patreon where we create content for Zweihander and other games. Just go to grimandperilous.com and click on the Patreon button. Thanks.